ahead and
Peace to the saints. It's the one and only. It's the big homie. Today we have a debate between myself and Jacob. I'm going to give you some background on how we landed here, but it should be a good, wholesome, upright conversation between honorable men. And of course, it's going to be fun. We have another lamb for the slaughter, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob, I'll give you a little bit of time to introduce yourself, and then I'll kind of give the audience a background on how we came to have this conversation, and we'll get into it.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want to give any introduction?
Oh, right here. Okay, yeah. My name is Jacob Costas from How's Over Bad's podcast. We're a fairly new podcast. Business owner. Been around for a while. Been a business owner for about a decade. So I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, let's get to it.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you coming on. And you're from Inland Empire?
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to the IE. I didn't grow up in IE, but I've made a lot of moves out there in the IE. What are some of the towns out there? Is that Rialto?
Yeah. So my company is in Fontana, so I have a diesel repair facility, and I'm in Fontana. Yeah, but I live in Upland. Yeah. What about you?
Fontana, Upland, Rialto, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. My primary residence is in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, but I made some moves. I had a gorgeous Puerto Rican chick out in Fontana back in the day, so I used to slide out there here and there. And you said you're in what business? You said diesel?
I have a big rig facility, about an acre. It's I work on all big rigs and fire trucks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations on your business success.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I built a studio inside the one of the offices.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a beautiful thing. We're going to have a good conversation today. I can really tell. I'm excited for it. Let's go ahead and do two things. Number one, I want to always honor those folks who support the work. There was a gentleman who had sent in a question on my last live stream, and it had actually went to the spam box, which is rare, but I do have his question, and so I want to read it out. And Jacob's in business as well, so perhaps you can give your perspective, and then we'll go ahead and get into the main discussion. Okay. Charlie writes, "Hi, Marquett. I've been watching you since you bodied that demon Adam on the Whatever podcast. Thank you for the lessons, experiences, and resources you have shared with this community. In my journey to self-improvement, your videos have been a great source of knowledge to stimulate the mind and laughter to heal the soul. There are times I wish I found your channel sooner, but that type of thinking is of no help. As of now, my main goal is to pay off my credit cards with an S, and purchase my first house." There's actually more here, but just the first piece. You have any thoughts on the credit card piece?
I mean, paying off your credit cards when you're in business, I mean, we call that good debt. So we like to have our credit cards and just make payments on it. Paying them all off, I mean, we all know that when you have a business, it's good debt if you have cards, you know.
So are you saying if you have credit cards in the name of your business or in your personal name?
Mostly your business. I mean, it depends on how deep you are in your business. I mean, you know, if you're a corporation and you have a bunch of credit cards, I mean, you don't want to pay them off. It actually makes your credit score go lower. So it's good to have.
Okay, so, and I want to clarify for everyone watching. So your business has an EIN, you as an individual have a social security number. And if your business is developed and has significant revenue, you might have the privilege of getting business credit.
Yes.
Conversely, some of you might even take out a loan or credit in the name of your business, but you have to personally guarantee it, which means that you as an individual human being with a social security number are guaranteeing that that debt gets paid off, which means that you're liable, and that is not ideal. I always promote don't use credit cards at all, ever, for any reason. Full stop. Okay. Don't use credit cards at all, ever, for any reason. Full stop. Now, one thing I will say is biblically, would you agree that biblically credit, which is based on interest, is usury?
I mean, I don't really have like a biblical stance on something like that. I always look at, when it comes down to it, yeah, you always say pay your debts in full and all that, but I understand in business, everything is done differently. So, I mean, when you have credit cards, it's like you're not paying off your debt. You still owe them, but you can owe them as you go. So when it comes to business, having credit cards has been great. I've been able to do way more things, build my business bigger and faster, and we call that good debt. So, I mean,
did you use credit cards at the start of your business to start it, or did you use credit cards after your business started producing profits?
No, I had bad credit before I started my business because
as an individual, you're saying?
Yeah, as an individual. So I built my credit up when I started my business, and I've been building it up ever since.
Got you. Okay, and I'm assuming you had bad credit because of credit cards or what?
Yeah, I just was young and I wasn't paying things off. I've had my business for about a decade now, so I was just a lot younger, making, dumber decisions, just not really caring. But I mean, now as a business owner and with employees, I have other people's, lives in my hand, so I
Yes, you
have to
do.
make smart decisions. I can't just make, dumb decisions and, you know, party with that money like I used to do back in the day.
Fair enough. And I do want to let everyone know that I don't speak as a religious person, as a Christian, as a Muslim, as a Jew. We will do some referencing of biblical text, just because that was the basis for which we're having this conversation. I do want to note for all of the believers, be you Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, you pretty much have the same line on interest. And it's simply summarized right here, according to Leviticus 25:37, quote, "You shall not lend your money at interest," which is to say, if you give it out, don't charge interest. Exodus 22:25 stipulates, quote, "If you lend money to another of my people with you who is poor, you shall not be like a money lender to him. You shall not exact interest from him," which is to suggest that interest is a fairly predatory, cruel thing, generally speaking. Now, I'm not saying this as a business person. I'm saying this as, like, if you're one of the persons who follow the word, whether your word is the word of the Christian God, the Muslim God, or the Jewish God, which are all of the Abrahamic faiths, then you should not use interest. It is a wicked thing. Now, if you're a business person and you can be on the money lender side, absolutely. It sounds like a good idea. But anyways, I just want to throw that out there for all of you all who believe yourselves to be believers, because a lot of things, especially on the Christian side, seem to be forgotten. In fact, just this morning, there's a Christian that seems like he was trying to cheat me out of an extra $30,000. Amazing. But this is the world that we are in. Anyways, I'm going to continue on. So the gentleman states that he had multiple credit cards. I say no one should have any. And we see that he suffered for that. He suffered. That is why I give you this advice. He says he wants to purchase his first home, which is a beautiful thing. Highly recommend that if it makes sense for your trajectory. He writes, "I'm embarrassed to say that I have 10,000 in credit card debt due to dumb spending." Anything on a credit card is dumb spending. I don't care what you paid for. And the good news is that $10,000 is not that much. Would you agree, especially you being a business owner now? $10,000 is really chump change,
Mm,
right?
Yeah, no, I have to just to survive in business. I have to make 25,000 a week, or I go under. So, yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
he said to survive, I
to
must make
survive.
25,000 a week.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's the good news, is that 25,000 is not going to mean much to you, unless you're suffering on the wrong side of compound interest. He writes, "Also, I'm paying off my car. I have 8,000 left till it's fully paid off. I was thinking of stopping my credit card payments and use that money toward paying off my car. What are your thoughts about this idea? Thank you for your time. Peace to the saints." Now, that is the part that I think is most interesting. And I'm really happy that he asked me that, because it seems as though he was really about to make a decision that would cause him to suffer. What do you think? He's saying he's going to stop the credit card payments and focus on paying off the car.
So he's just not going to pay the credit cards anymore. He's going to mess his credit up.
That's what it sounded like based on how it was written.
No, that's really bad. Your credit in the United States is the most important thing. It really, if you think about it, it's better to have better credit than 100 grand, because you can always go and get 100 grand. So I mean, credit is everything out here. So I don't think that's a smart move at all.
I agree with your conclusion, which is it's not a smart move. I don't agree with the underlying logic, which is why it's good to have two perspectives on here.
Yeah.
Would I rather have credit, or would I rather have 100,000 cash? Well, I'd rather have the cash. Number one, you mentioned in the United States is very important. That's actually quite true. Around the world, there's a lot of things you can do with cash that would be far more advantageous. And in most countries, you can't get credit. Like if you're a foreigner in another country, which, like, for example, as we speak, you can see that the sun is out. I'm assuming the sun is not out where you are in the United States, right?
Yeah, no, it's out right now still.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
it's,
what
it,
time?
it
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
go
because
out. It doesn't.
you're in PST.
Yeah, it
So it's
doesn't come
16.
down to like around 7 now. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I forget you're not on East Coast. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, like, for example, in this country that I'm in right now, if I had no cash and I just had credit, even if I had excellent credit in the United States, I couldn't do anything. But with $100,000, I could buy a proper apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, brand new build in a nice part of town. Furthermore, with cash, you can also work out deals. You can negotiate things. You can get seller financing. You can do so many things with cash if you're a clever business person. With credit, you're fairly crippled. But the most important thing is if you have credit without cash, then it really isn't going to help you anyways, because you're going to get into a debt trap because you won't be able to pay.
Yeah, my stance. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Well, my stance was if you're a business owner, really. So as a business owner, credit is better than the cash because I can do so much more. I can get so much more money in from SBAs, from grants, from all these different things I can go after. With bad
Grants
credit,
are not credit though.
No, it's not. But there's certain grants you can get into though. I have a grant lady that I'm using previously right now, and there's specific things. They're not necessarily considered grants still, but like just certain things you can do when you have. It's a little behind the scenes type stuff. I'm sure you probably know.
And one thing I will say, and I think this is a great conversation because we represent two radically different perspectives that could both work. They could both work. So I don't want to pretend as though what you're saying cannot work.
And it does.
I'll tell you this.
On your side, I'm saying your side, I agree with everything you're saying too, though, because your side does work. People from China that come here all the time too, they use cash for everything. Absolutely. So both sides, it's just different how people just do different things, you know?
And I'm designing around the likelihood that you're going to make a mistake at some point. And if you're over leveraged, whether you're in real estate or whatever heavy industry might require a lot of capital and you're over leveraged, maybe there's a bubble, maybe it's a macroeconomic cycle and you're over leveraged and then things go wrong and you don't have cash reserves, but you have a lot of credit, a lot of outstanding debt, you will suffer greatly. So for example, if you and I did exactly what we're describing, I financed my business using cash, grants, negotiation, seller financing, investments. And then you, on the other hand, say finance yours using maybe some of the things I mentioned, but primarily on credit. And then there's an economic downturn or there's a bubble busting in our industry. I'll still be good to go and I would still be considered well off. You would then probably go into bankruptcy and debt and you would suffer greatly.
Very correct. So everybody around me right now has shut down. All the guys that have been in business 30, 40 years are shutting down. The reason why is they have a massive debt. So you're completely right. And that happens all the time and it's happening now. So the reason why, so it actually helped me that I'm smaller than they are because now that's the only reason I survived. I didn't put money all over the place like they did. And now they had so much money out that when they're not, the same work not's coming in, they shut down. So you're completely right. And that's happening now.
That's a great perspective. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about people who are actually doing business, people who have actual experience. And I appreciate you coming onto the scene. And mind you, everyone, I'm literally just getting to know Jacob right now as we speak. We haven't had any previous conversation whatsoever. But a lot of YouTube guys, they come on and they really don't have a past before YouTube. There's nothing really to hold on to. And so the advice and perspective that they can give is very limited. And so I appreciate you being able to share that that insight. So anyways, my perspective on his piece about stopping the credit card payment and paying the car off, I think that is a very bad idea. And I agree with Jacob in that it'll hurt your credit. That's number one. And credit is not everything, but it is important. And the less cash liquid you are, you definitely want to maintain the quality of your credit. And over time, credit is going to get you lower payments on whatever you do, whether it's a car loan, God forbid, a personal loan or a mortgage. But the last part is this: when you're deciding which thing to pay off, if for some strange reason you can't pay a minimum payment on both of them and you have limited income that's not growing for some reason, you want to ask yourself which one has A, the highest interest rate, and then B, the worst penalties, and C is least likely to negotiate with me. Whoever is the most predatory and is generally the credit card, you're going to want to pay that off. Why are credit cards going to usually have a higher interest rate for you, be more predatory, and be less likely to give you flexibility? Well, there's no underlying asset. So they need you to pay them their money, because with the car, there's an underlying asset, the vehicle, the automobile. So if you stop paying, they can come take the car from you. You stop paying on the credit card, they can't take anything. So they're at a total loss. They got to write it off. So in as much as that's the case, the credit card is really going to tax you. So I'd highly recommend that you pay at least a minimum on the credit card and then pay your car payment. And don't forget that you can actually refinance cars as well, right? You can get a different loan on the car. You can pull in family members, parents as necessary. You can renegotiate to get the payment lowered or get the term extended. So if you have a 5-year car loan, you can extend it to 6 years, 7 years, reduce the monthly payment. Any other thoughts on that one before we carry on?
No, I completely agree with you on that.
Fantastic. And Charlie, we appreciate you supporting the work. Anyone who has questions, comments, you can send it below. May I acknowledge Joseph? He writes, tuition for the upcoming live. Yes, indeed. This shall be a good one. I'm excited to get into it. Shout out to Endless Apex. Comes in by PayPal. He writes, let's work. And shout out to Joseph as well. Okay, I just said that twice. That's okay. Nothing wrong with being extra thankful. Here we go. So let's first take a look at, let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at your YouTube channel. And I'm just going to go ahead and read through so folks can see what you're about, what kind of information you have. And so here's his YouTube channel. And am I pronouncing this correctly? Howls Over Baz?
Yeah, Howls Over Baz.
Howls Over Baz. Got it. Howls Over Baz. That's the YouTube channel. Here it is right here. I'm just going to go ahead and do a little read through. Unleash your inner leader. I really like that. We talk a lot about leadership here with the Howls Over Baz podcast. Join the dynamic hosts, Jacob, Ronnie, Rico, Eddie, as they dive deep into the realms of personal growth, self-improvement, big on that, leadership development, okay. Every podcast is a powerful mix of practical tips, that's very good, inspiring stories, we all love stories, thought-provoking insights designed to help you break free from the pack and embrace the spirit of a true howler. What's this concept about howling that you have?
So wolves over sheep, wolves howl, sheep bass. So basically leaders over followers, wolves over sheep, because the sheep, just follow the crowd. That's where we came up with that. Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh, and by the way, this might sound like an advertisement. I've never met this man. He's not paying me anything. He's just my video editor. Saw him react to a clip and brought him on. And, I just want to honor him by letting you all know what he does.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely. And let me just finish up with this real quick. Okay, it's time to shed the sheep mentality and take control of your life, whether you're striving for success in your career, fitness, relationships, or overall sense of purpose and fulfillment. Howls Over Baz provides you with the tools needed to reach your full potential. Okay, very good. Then you have all your links here. Fantastic. This is what his channel looks like. That's some cool coloration. It's a little bit rainbow-like, though, my boy. A little bit rainbow-like.
I've heard that before. Y'all
tasting the rainbow over there?
We don't go that side, man. About that. Hey, it's like I look at it as like a surfing type of colors. You know what I'm saying? Like I surf, so that's kind of how I look at that.
No, it's actually a beautiful logo, and I think it's a pity that the LGBTQ has basically monopolized a natural symbol while doing unnatural things.
Exactly.
So yeah, it is indeed a beautiful symbol. Okay, and so here we go. Here's here's what sparked this conversation right here. So he did a reaction to a reel that was posted. I assume these are some of your colleagues that were mentioned in the introduction.
The other two guys next to me. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm just going to turn this on and see if I can refresh this, and then we're going to get into it. How a guy can still love you and sleep with other women. We're built like that. You're not built like that. You are built to be monogamous. A lot of men. Okay, so we're going to go actually, I'm going to play the whole thing all the way through. I'm going to play the whole thing all the way through. Then we're going to go back and we're going to chop it up. Okay. How about that? How's that sound?
Hey, I'm ready, man. Yeah.
All right. Shout to Drip. He writes, peace to the saints. May also acknowledge Majesty supporting the work. He writes, just picked up the Black Box. Peace to the saints. Nothing is free. For those of you who want to check out my book, The Black Box, I highly recommend it. It's a true story of great inspiration that helps you navigate in this day. You can get a paperback at Amazon.com. Just type in The Black Box Marquett Burton, or you can go to thesassin.com. That's THESASN.com and pick up an ebook. Shout out to Jose, writes, peace to the saints. Appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. He was on our drip trip, and we do have another drip trip coming up soon. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, you'd be wise to get it because it will be shut down in terms of overselling. All right. Here we go. I'm about to replay it full through without any interruptions, and then we'll go through and we'll chop it up bit by bit.
All right.
Women are perplexed as to how a guy can still love you and sleep with other women. We're built like that. You're not built like that. You are built to be monogamous.
A lot of men shows are trying to manipulate the mind of men and women like this, saying that men are not meant to be monogamous, right? Now we know for thousands of years men have had multiple wives, concubines, all that stuff. This has always been. But if we want to get real about it, because I don't like to manipulate the mind, right? In a sense where I'm going to say, okay,
but it goes
but let me finish, and then you guys can jump in. So biblically, even biblically, we are actually not meant to be with multiple people. See, it is. Hold on, let me finish. Then you guys, let me finish. No, dude, hold up. It says one man, one woman.
Hold on.
One man, one woman. That's what it's supposed to be. One man, one woman. It's in the Bible. It's talked about like that, and I believe that, and I truly do, because I feel like you know you're doing wrong if you're being with multiple women. Period. Like I'm not a fool. Like I know what I'm doing is wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and convince myself like I'm some fool trying to convince myself that, hey, what I'm doing is not wrong. I'm gonna keep doing it. No, I'm gonna at least acknowledge that what I'm doing is wrong, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. But I'm not gonna. I don't want. I feel like that's very scary to try to manipulate your own mind to believe that that it's okay to be with all these women.
When women are perplexed as to okay, so that was the playthrough on that one.
I already know, man.
Oh boy, I gotta cook. You heard me? I gotta cook, man. Let's about to get into this. All right. Play the tape back. How a guy can still love you and sleep with other women. We're built like that. You're not built like that. So that was the first premise.
Mm-hmm.
A man can sleep with other women. We're built like that, which is a reference our actual nature. You're not built like that, which is a reference the nature of the female. Mm-hmm. So on the first premise of, do you believe that most women want to have multiple men on a rate? Like if a woman could have a rotation of 5 men, do you think that that's of interest to most women? We took a survey.
Generally, no, but I mean, dude, out here in the Inland Empire, it's getting radical, man. These girls are just being, I don't know, promiscuous. Can I say that word? Yes. Right? So these women absolutely. Are out here just being promiscuous like crazy. So it's from when I was younger, we ran that. We were the ones that did all the cheating. We're the ones that did all that. We pretty much ran all that. Girls would be crying about us. But now these women are the ones doing it to men. And to me, it's pathetic that these dudes are allowing that to happen. Because at the end of the day, men are it's the problem with the men, because they don't have, I'm trying to not cuss here and say certain words, but the men don't have the balls, dude, to step up and just demand respect. Like they're over here like just being simps with these women. And I can't even believe it.
Okay. So, and also remind me, is San Bernardino included in the IE? Or
it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get reacclimated to the Inland Empire. I used to run a couple missions out there. And you're right. You got a lot of scallywags in the Inland Empire. There's no doubt about that, since way back in the day, especially Fontana. I know from personal experience as well as San Bernardino. But moreover, you just confirmed what I said, that it is not the nature of the healthy female to want to deal with multiple males.
No, it's not the nature. I completely agree with you on that. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said, we used to do that when I was a youngster, meaning we males were the ones that would have the rotation.
I still do it. Just letting you know, like I still do that, man. But what I'm saying is right and wrong, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so my perspective is different. How a lot of people think. So I do what I do, but I have a son, right? So I'm not going to teach my son to do that, because I know.
Oh, you ain't got to teach me. He'll learn on his own.
I'm hoping not. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm talking about. So like, how I always look at things is right and wrong. Am I going to still tell the people it's still right to have multiple women? No, but that's what I do. That's what all my boys do. But am I going to teach that to people? Because I feel like that's because these people, dude, the men nowadays, they're taking everything you say in as law now. I feel like they're just like taking all that in. They're going to believe almost anything nowadays. These women and men, the youngsters, they're taking it all in, and they're just becoming like zombies to, especially people like on YouTube and all this. They're becoming zombies to that. So do I do it? Have I gotten more women because I'm good at that? Yeah. But is it right? That's my comeback on that,
Well, let's address that. I think that's a meaningful point. Shout out to Young Carlos, who just supported the work via Venmo, writes, "We'll catch the replay." Saying, appreciate you. Shout out to the real one supporting the work. Number one, when we talk about right and wrong, and we're talking about a male having multiple women, I talk about this in the context of a committed relationship, which is to say that you're not dealing with women indiscriminately. I encourage guys, hey, if you're going to deal with a woman who can offer something to you. Personally, I like women who are both attractive and wealthy. You heard me? No broke chicks on my side. And also, if you're going to deal with a woman, deal with her in the context of a committed relationship. You might use the term marriage, but we don't mean in the legal sense. So you might have one wife, two wives, three wives, four wives. I encourage those in my community, those who are saints, upright men, leaders, the stronger of men, to procreate, to multiply. Why? Because we need more good people. It turns out that the persons who are low IQ and wicked, they multiply in great numbers. They spread like pathogens and disease around the earth. So, you have the guy who doesn't have enough money to take care of a kid, guy who's himself dysfunctional. He gets a chick pregnant, leaves her as a single mother. He goes off, lets the government pay for it, lets the taxpayer pay for it, lets the woman struggle on her own. What I'm saying is that it is fine if you would select to have one wife, two wives, three wives, four wives, but you need to have it in the context of a committed relationship, and women need to be willing to follow your program. That is how they secure their support. A man is not responsible to support a woman who does not follow his program. So on the basis of that, a man is entitled to multiple females, and it is in line with male nature, and it is sound biblically as well. I yield the floor.
Yeah, see, I don't agree with that at all on that part is biblically. So through the text, the Bible, it's always one man, one woman. When
Is
you
it?
become one flesh. I people like to try to twist the words, but it's really one man, one woman. You become one flesh together. Now, even like I said in the video, for thousands of years, yeah, men had multiple wives and concubines, but God in the Bible it spoke about God frowning upon that. Now,
Okay. So you've referenced the Bible 3 times, but you've given me 0 Bible verses. Some of the ones you've referenced, I kind of have a sense of which one you're speaking of. So reference some scripture for me so that we can ground this in the Bible. And I first want to also state that, yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you go. What scripture do you want to refer to since we're talking about the Bible and the word?
I mean, everybody always goes back to even in Genesis, God's original intention was for one man and one woman, right?
Okay,
That
which
was
verse?
Genesis 2:24, and then they have another one. Says in Deuteronomy, it says God condemns kings from taking on multiple wives. So in Deuteronomy, it speaks about
Let's hit Genesis 2:24 first. I'm just pop this up for you. So we got Genesis 2:24, and
I can't see it, but yeah, go ahead.
Appreciate you. Genesis 2:24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh.
So it's wife, not wives, too. So
Okay.
I mean,
so let's talk about the one flesh part, which is critical to your argument, and this is how we got to break it down. But first, for all of those men who are watching, I want you guys to understand a couple of things. I want you to use your brains here. Number one, is God all-knowing? That's a question for you. Is God all-knowing? Well, I think in the Bible it says God is all-knowing. Would you agree?
yes.
Yeah, God is all-knowing. That's number one. Number two, did God create man?
Yes.
Okay, we all agree on that. God is all-knowing. God created man. Therefore, God should know man. Would you agree there?
Yeah.
Great. So God would know man's nature, number one, how he's likely to behave, what he wants, what he seeks. And then furthermore, God should know man's level of understanding. My challenge to reasonable, intelligent, upright men is to ask yourself, why would God have you play a guessing game? Right? Like much of the Bible is a guessing game. It's like you don't even know what's going on. It's unclear. And we're going to see here because we're going to dig into this text. And mind you, we're already dealing with a translation of a translation of a translation. We're like 3 translations deep. But anyways, we'll play with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you should always also ask yourself, well, why is the Bible so complex when most men are simple-minded? This is for the reasonable, intelligent people. Use your brains. Now, let's get into the part that you were talking about. You referred to the following scripture. I'm going to go ahead and pop it back up. And this is a scripture that is commonly referred to in arguments against polygyny, even though polygyny is clearly demonstrated at various points in the Bible. So number one, that is why a man leaves his father and mother, leaves them, and is united with his wife, and they become one flesh. I think just number one, from a linguistic standpoint, the structure of this sentence, if you were a regular human being and you wrote this sentence, your English teacher would tell you to rewrite it and probably break it into two separate sentences because it doesn't make sense together. That's number one. I'm not afraid to say it doesn't make sense because it doesn't really. But let's talk about this piece about, and they become one flesh. This is critical. This language is not only used here in reference to a man laying with his wife, the one flesh concept that you're trying to suggest means that you should only have one wife. That it doesn't say that. It doesn't even suggest that. But there's another place in the Bible where it refers to a man becoming one flesh, and it was not referring to his wife. Do you have any sense of what I might be referring to?
No, I don't right now.
Okay, fair enough. So there's another place where it talks about one flesh. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 16 talks about two becoming one flesh. And in this case, it refers to a man sleeping with a prostitute. So if a man sleeps with a prostitute and thereby becomes one flesh with the prostitute, what it indicates textually is that is a metaphor for sexual intercourse. And that makes a lot of sense because in the sexual act, you do become joined in one flesh. So it is in fact a metaphor for saying that you have intercourse with that person. And in this case, it referred initially in your verse to the wife, and in the verse that I just referenced to a prostitute. So what it is explaining to you, and what's the similarity between these two situations? Because the language the Bible uses is you become one flesh. So what's the similarity between a man being with that prostitute and being with his wife? It's not the bond of marriage, and it's not the lack of marriage. It is joining in the sexual act. So when they speak of one flesh, it is speaking of the sexual act. It is not speaking of the man being monogamous only with one woman.
Yeah. So even in the Bible, though, it speaks on when men become, we're becoming, as many women as you sleep with, you're becoming one flesh with them all. I mean,
okay, but can we, before you go on to that, can you yield that your point about that first verse you shared, suggesting that a man is only supposed to have a limit of one wife? That Genesis chapter 2, verse 24.
No, I still. So to me, it does still, because what it's saying is that is we are meant to be. Just one. We are meant to be one flesh with them. Now,
are you interpreting, or is that what it says?
That's what it says. One flesh.
But it also says you became one flesh with a prostitute. So does that mean that you should only have that one prostitute for the rest of your life?
Well, no, because we're still, that's a decision that the man, we still make our own decisions. So men are still making their own decisions to becoming one flesh with them, which is wrong. They're still doing wrong by doing that, though.
Right. And that's because it's adultery, but adultery is actually defined in the Bible based on the woman's marital status. So it's defined based on, is that woman your wife? If you're sleeping with a woman who is not your wife, then that is adultery for both parties involved, the male and the female. And the reason it is described negatively when you're laying down with the prostitute is because she is in fact not your wife. So
he shouldn't be laying down with the prostitute. He shouldn't be laying down with her in the first place.
She's not his wife, and you're not supposed to have intercourse with persons who are not your wife.
Well, a prostitute or anybody that, exactly. Same thing.
People who are not your wife.
Yeah.
Right. But going back to this verse here, this verse does not clarify at any level that a man is limited to one wife.
I mean, to me, it does. I mean, we're going to keep going back and forth on that, but I could tell you, I mean, it says one wife. It says wife, not wives. It would have said wives.
Oh, wives with an S. You're saying it would have said wives with an S. Aha, that's fascinating. Okay, so since you're saying the Bible would have said wives with an S if we were permitted to have wives, then we must ask ourselves, is there anywhere in the Bible where it speaks of multiple wives?
Well, it does. I mean, Solomon, he had multiple wives, and
Solomon had multiple wives. Okay. And concubines. What? Solomon was living good. Okay. Yeah, anyone else have multiple wives?
A lot of people in the Bible did. I mean,
a lot of people have multiple wives.
Most of the men had multiple wives.
Most of the men in the Bible had multiple wives, and the Bible is supposed to be a good book filled with prophets and messengers and people leading us out of evil and strife. So if most of the men in the Bible have multiple wives, including great messengers and revered men, respected men, why would that all of a sudden be a bad thing?
Well, I mean, it still spoke about how God frowned upon that, though. He didn't accept that, but he still.
Okay,
I mean,
where is the verse for that? For him frowning upon that?
you know what?
And the reason
I didn't even pull that verse up, but I might have one. Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that up. While you're pulling that up, shout out to Nate the Great supporting the work now. So acknowledge Drip Lord Entertainment writes, I'm going to keep it a bean. If Mr. Burton signs off on it, I'm with it. It is truly Sasson or nothing. He is the purest representation of the truth. Peace of the saints in a real way, man. Shout out to Nicaragua. He writes, keep cooking, Saint. Thanks for the context. Oh, indeed. People, they cherry pick verses. They cherry pick verses, and it doesn't serve God's will. And it doesn't, aside from God, it doesn't even serve the goodness of human beings on earth. Shout to Frank. He writes, tuition, let's cook. Oh, yeah, we just heated up the stove right now. We ain't even put the chili beans on. You did. Go ahead. I'm waiting on that verse.
I'll go ahead. But no, the thing is, I really think that is a big thing is people do cherry pick out the Bible. Unless you're in
I'm waiting for your verse right now, though, Jacob.
I know. I didn't even
pull it up name, right? Wait, is Jacob a biblical name?
It is. It is a biblical name.
That's a biblical name.
Yeah.
Marquett is not a biblical name. So I'm going to need you to know that word better than me, Brody. I'm ready. Hit me.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm going to see. Exactly. Let me see. That's the problem is people are going based on their feelings. And especially as men, we don't need to go based on our feelings. We need to go based on what is real.
You see, I don't go based on my feelings at all. Everything I do is calculated. I mean,
but you ain't got that word ready for me.
What's that?
You ain't got that word ready for me.
Oh, okay.
You're telling me that. You're telling me that God in his book, God has never spoken to you in an audible voice. God has never handed you a letter. The greatest thing that God has ever handed you is that good book called the Bible, which has a multitude of versions and is reinterpreted and reinterpreted and reinterpreted. But if that's what you say you believe in as a Christian, whatever form of Christian you may be, you need to be deep in that word. And here's what really kills me about Christians, major air quotes. By the way, one of them tried to cheat me this morning for 30,000. Wow. What kills me about Christians is you have one book that you have to read to feel like you're an expert on how you should live. And you still haven't read the book. You still haven't mastered it. You still don't have it on the tip of your tongue and on the tip of your fingertips, but you guys would all proselytize. And the fact of the matter is you're largely going based on your feelings. Because if you knew for sure, you'd have them words ready for me. What's that?
No, pastors and preachers haven't mastered. You're never going to master that book. You're trying your hardest to live your life the best of your ability to it. It's just an outline of how you should at least.
You should at least have it ready to go though when you have A, reacted to my word, B, been invited to a debate, and then C, presumably had a decent amount of time to prepare. I just changed countries and arrived in a new country and been taking meetings with bankers and lawyers for the last 12 hours when I should have been sleeping.
Well, you're trying to have me pull up verses. You know what I mean? I'm talking to you. I still can justify what I'm saying. So right off the bat,
I'm arguing what God says, and I'm arguing secular logic at the same time.
Yeah.
But when I argue what God says, I use logic based on what we all know from the Bible, or I use the direct verse, which I just quoted a verse from the Bible.
I understand. So logical.
God says.
I know, but I'm asking you logically. You're saying it is. So you being a logical person, you're trying to say it's better for a man to have multiple wives than just one wife. Why is that though? Why would you think that? Now I'm Hispanic. Let me explain to you something. I'm Hispanic.
Okay. And you don't want me to answer that. So I'm not going to answer. Go ahead.
I know, but I'll go into that right now. But I'm Hispanic. Most of the dads, I'm part Hispanic. Most of the dads do have multiple women all over the place. And it's broken up so many families. The kids are grown up to be murderers, thieves, they're in jail, shot. Most people I know have grown up to be that way because their dad wasn't in the picture and they're running the streets. My dad was in the picture still. So he was still punking me to a point. Even though I grew up rough, he was still punking me. Now, a lot of the times when a man has multiple women, how is that ever going to go right? Usually, when do you see that right in this world? The percentage wise, you don't see it because polygamy is not a thing. And when they are, they're in Utah with some weird white dudes acting fools. I mean, come on. I mean, look at the people that are doing polygamy. You want to be those people like hiding in the mountains? I mean, really think about it that way. So logically speaking, there's no way, dude. Like you see all the people. I don't know where you grew up. If you grew up in a rough place, but everybody around me didn't have dads, and most of my friends are in jail, dead, are doing the same thing, still just pulling all these women, doing the same, and they're not taking care of their kids. So it's one or the other. So logically speaking, there's no way that's right, dude. I've seen it firsthand.
I appreciate your points, and I will respond now.
Okay.
Number one, you were asked to bring up some scripture. You didn't bring up the scripture. So I just want that to be noted for the record, and that's fine. Number two, you go into logic, and I'm a logician, so let's work. You speak of the ills that result in our society in the United States, in the West, of people behaving irresponsibly, males having children, not caring for them or the woman, broken homes you reference. I agree. Those persons who are doing that, both the males and the females, those are monogamous. Those are monogamous. Those are not polygamous. Those are persons who are trying to be in monogamous relationships. And when they're dealing with other women, they are cheating, which is to say they're going outside of what they agreed on, what the woman expected, what the woman was expecting, which was a monogamous relationship with only her. And a lot of times their relationships break because the male is dealing with another woman and it's behind her back, which means it's deceitful, it's dishonest, and it's irresponsible. And furthermore, I reference marriage. You are referencing indiscriminate intercourse among monogamists, which is bad and has failed on a consistent basis. So you're only verifying what I spoke of. Conversely, if people were polygynous, which is the specific condition of a man having multiple wives, the women, they would be taken care of because they are in the context of marriage. They are connected to that man, you might say, of his flesh, and those children would be cared for. And if he were to do the thing of dealing with another woman, it would only be in the context of marriage, which means there is a contract that he would take care of that woman and the offspring. Hence, you would not have the broken homes that you yourself described. And when you have the proper expectation of polygyny in the West, then you will not have foolish women saying, hey, because you're not with just me and I can't control my base feelings of jealousy and rage and being unruly, I'm going to leave you and break this home and create a bastard of your child. If they had the expectation of polygyny, they would stay within that man's leadership with him as their cover, leader, and patriarch, and they would get on just fine, perhaps like the brother Moses and perhaps like any of the brothers referenced in the good book that you have yet to reference.
Do you have polygamous friends?
I have friends around the world. I have various people who practice polygyny in the Middle East, in Africa, one in Asia. So yes, I do.
I lived in Utah for 2 years because I got a lot of trouble out here. So I ended up getting shipped to Utah. I've met polygamous men. And they are the weirdest dudes, man. Even in a logical, like they have to live in the mountains.
You have to understand this. You're referring to fringe Mormon polygynists. Like you're referring to fringe Mormon polygynists. You're saying that they're weird. They may be weird. You're saying that they're doing it wrong. They may be doing it wrong. I agree with you there. So we're not in disagreement. And furthermore, you're not disagreeing with polygyny. You're saying, hey, I observe these people do it in a weird way. Well, yeah, I observe most Christians lying, cheating, stealing, and being promiscuous, but that would not characterize all Christians, even though I'd say that's a majority. And in fact, I would challenge you that most polygynists are not in the United States. They would be in the Islamic world, in the Middle East. So that wouldn't even be a meaningful reference point that you're making.
I mean, it's still a reference point. I mean, it's United States reference point. So, I mean, I understand.
But it's illogical because it's illogical because you said we're talking about logic, and you said, hey, here's my issues with polygyny. You said my issue is the broken homes, the boys without fathers, the women without husbands. I said, oh, that's ironic because those are the very things that you find in monogamy, which is dominant in the West. You also have high rate of divorce in the West. You have high rates of promiscuity in the West. You have high rates of bastards and children out of wedlock in the West. I said polygyny would rid all of those things, and I laid out the logic. So instead of responding to my logic, you are now responding to your own personal.
No, I'll respond to your logic.
You're not addressing my logic.
So the whole thing is, though, when you're explaining that, these men and women that are cheating, that are not, you know, dedicated to a wife or a woman, because you said it was a dedication. They dedicated themselves to the woman or the man, and so they're going out and cheating. But that still references everything. I mean, how many? This is what's going on. So you don't have all these people right now out here doing polygamous marriages. They're not doing that. And for
they're not polygynous. They're monogamous. The people you're referring to in America, when you observe what is called cheating, those are people who lie and say that they're monogamous, but they engage in sexual promiscuity. These are people who are sexually liberated. The Christians, these are the Westerners. These are the people who say monogamy out of their mouth, but they don't behave with monogamy.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about right and wrong, period. Right. So okay. Even though, I mean, we're all going to do things wrong. I mean, if people kill people, our hands are not meant to freaking strangle somebody to death and kill them, but we still use it to do that. I mean, what I'm talking about is just right and wrong. And when it comes down to it, I have children, right? I don't know if you have children.
You have one child? I thought you just said you had a son. You have two. You have a boy and a girl.
Two children. So okay. Yeah, boy and a girl. And
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So when it comes down to polygamy, right? The father, when you have an absent father trying to raise these kids, and this all has to do with that is.
Wait, that has nothing to do with polygamy, because polygamy
but I'm going to explain why it does. I know, but let me explain why it does. Now, a father that has all these kids that can't focus on their kids, you still end up with the same result. I mean, if you have a bunch of wives and you're pushing all this out, I know I see you smirking, but I wanted to get that point across too, because this is literally how it is. So when you go against right and wrong, having all these multiple wives, there's so many reasons why all that can stem to this.
Wait, where's the wrong though? Give me that part. Just say, hey, Marquett, in polygyny, the state of a man who is responsible and has went into a contract of sorts with a woman, his wife, and has procreated with the women, explain the wrong part. That's what I'm missing. What is wrong?
What's wrong? Explain that one more time, because I don't understand your reference on that one.
Sure. In polygyny, the natural state of a man marrying a woman, having children with her, marrying another woman who's also a wife, having children with her, taking care of all parties involved. Where is the wrong? Like, explain what part of that is wrong.
Well, I'm saying if you have multiple wives with all these multiple kids from different wives, a man is not going to be able to be there for all his children. I'm not saying that.
Okay, now let's hold it there. So you said a man cannot be there for all his children. Is that true?
It'd be. You don't think it'd be difficult? You don't think that'd be a difficult task to do?
Well, I asked you a question. Now you're asking me a question back. So I'm asking you, is that true?
I mean, it depends on how many kids, but yeah, that's definitely true.
No, that's not true. See, here's the problem. You have guys who say that they're monogamous, but they're lying and have had entire additional families. They've been cheating with a mistress or a side girl for decades on end. And so the idea that a man can't have two wives and say two children by each and provide for all of them and be present, there's no logic there. It's not supported. For example, what would be easier? Here's two scenarios. Here's a monogamous scenario. Here's a polygynous scenario. In the monogamous scenario, you're a dweeb who has a wife who dominates you, right? Which is why you live like a beta male. And you have 8 kids with that one wife. So you're a dweeb with one wife, 8 kids. Then you're on the side of you're a boss and you have 2 wives and then you have 2 kids with each wife. Who has a better arrangement? Surely the polygynous person. Why? Because his kids are all going to get more attention because there are more adults to keep eyes on them, more adults to teach them, more adults to homeschool them, more adults to earn money so that they can all live well. In the monogamous situation, there's fewer adults, less income, less eyes on the kids. So the kids are not going to benefit from fewer adults. They're going to benefit from more adults. I used to be in the education public education on the business side and on the side of being a teacher. And I was liaison between Baltimore City Public Schools and the mayor of Baltimore. In education, we actually have metrics for adult to student ratio. Why? Because more adults to students is better for the kids. So how can you try to justify the idea that fewer adults for the kids gives the kids a better outcome?
What I'm justifying is their father being there.
Okay, in those two scenarios, the monogamous, the guy has 8 kids, 1 wife. The guy has 4 kids, 2 wives. Who's going to get more of their father? The 4 kids in the polygynous situation or the 8 kids in the monogamous situation? Who gets more of their father?
But it doesn't really matter. You're going to get more of the father with the one family. How would you not? When you have more kids you have, how would you not?
Whoa. I want to make sure
they're going to be talking to their mother.
What you just said?
Think about what you just said. No, but think about the mother, right? So the mother.
You're talking about the mother now. You said who gets more of their father. You got to stay focused.
What I'm saying is all these women taking care of all these kids. How good are the kids when moms are taking care of the kids? They're running amok. The father's the ones that put them in place.
You're off topic, though. I'm just trying to hold you down to what you said. In the polygamous situation, you have 2 wives and you have 2 kids with each, a total of 4 kids. In the monogamous situation, you have 1 wife and 8 kids. Which kids get more of their father? And I'm not assuming
the one with 4 kids. I mean,
obviously 4 kids, exactly. So that destroys your whole argument about polygyny being something that gives the kids less of their father. That was your argument. That one has been defeated and checkmated. What is your next argument?
The psychological effect on these kids with multiple mothers. I mean, what do you? Are you a polygamist? Do you have multiple wives? Are you working on multiple wives?
I just want to confirm. You're now off of the idea that the kids don't get enough of their father, and now you're on to a separate argument, which is you're
saying with 4 kids. I mean, if you have multiple wives, most of the time you're going to have way more than 4 kids.
I would hope
let's just be real about that. You know what I mean? So I can always use
that logic to break apart your.
I know you did, but it's still really, is that going to happen? Are they going to only have 4 kids? Most likely not.
That argument's already been defeated, though. What else you got in the chamber? Hit me with something, because I'm just bodying the arguments left and right. What else you got in the chamber? Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to think on that. Let me hit these super chats real quick while you ponder on that one. Shout out to Walton. He writes, tuition, cook, quack. Sir, listen, I got the apron on now. But I'm still heating up the chili beans. May I acknowledge? Let's see. Shout out to Nate the Great supporting the work. Actually said that one twice. Shout out to Nicaragua Saint. Shout out to Darius. He writes, La República Marquetica. I'm telling you, man, we out here everywhere like air. Shout out to Diamond, writes, peace to the saints and the lady saints. You dig? Shout out to the people of the book, the people who really believe, the women who really know how to follow a man. Shout out to Destroyer of Simps, writes, sex is marriage in the Bible. That's a beautiful thing. Spread the word on it. If a man takes a woman's V card, that woman becomes his wife. Talk about it. It's not the paper. Talk about that part too. This is why men in the Bible had multiple wives. A woman with a body count of 1 can never be your wife under God. Oh, Brody is trying to stick to the word. Shout out to Majesty supporting the. He writes, "Where's the word?" I'm trying to tell you, these Christians out here. Shout out to Jermaine. He writes, "Tuition, peace to the saints." I acknowledge Fully Cooley writes, peace to the saints. Shout out to the one supporter on that dating show you did that dropped Exodus 21:10. Quote, if he takes another, I already had this one queued up. I was just keeping it in the back for him. You did. When he wanted to get into the scripture, I was going to hit him with it, but go ahead. Exodus 21:10. Quote, if he takes another wife, another wife to himself, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, or her marital rights. Exactly. That is the Bible referencing multiple wives.
I hear that.
Shout out to Hadar supporting the work. He writes, peace to saints. Why does this guy shrink the whole world into USA only? Thank you for your time, bro. It's crazy out here. It'd be like that. Shout out to Robert. He writes, peace to the saints. Study the Greek and Aramaic of the Bible, right? We working off an interpretation of a version of a version. It's crazy. May I acknowledge Major Mind and Soul writes, Jacob, the man whose name has been given to our guest had Oh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'm going to repeat that for you, Jacob. You heard me. You might have to share this with your parents. Jacob, the man whose name has been given to you, my brother, had 2 wives, and both of his wives gave him handmaids of theirs for Jacob to have children with. That's one man with 12 sons and multiple daughters with 4 women. Hallelujah. Bro, what you got to say to that? That was crazy.
People are going to still argue with this, but that's the Old Testament. And when Jesus spoke, he changed. Everything changed when Jesus died for our sins. If not, everybody be killing goats still. Everybody be killing lambs right there. Nobody's doing that. So everybody does.
People don't kill goats and lambs now? People don't kill goats and lambs now? Because I actually had some
for sacrifice. For sacrifice.
Okay. So you're basically saying just throw away the Old Testament, completely useless.
Well, when Jesus died for our sins, a lot of things changed, and we know that.
Yeah, but was this one of them?
Yeah, the wives. It talks about that. It talks. I mean, it talks about that so much in the Bible.
Scripture? What's the scripture?
See, my whole thing is too. When I was coming on,
well, you said the Bible talks about that.
But let me explain something to you. When you told me to come on, I didn't know we were going to be quoting scriptures, right? I that's why I didn't look up scriptures. Yes, I said. But hold on. But did you take what I was saying down? I literally said I personally be with multiple women, but I know it's wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can, if you listen to the whole video, you hear what I'm saying.
A lot of men shows are trying to manipulate the mind of men and women like this, saying that men are not meant to be monogamous, right? Now, we know for thousands of years, men have had multiple wives, concubines, all that stuff. This has always been. But if we want to get real about it, because I don't like to manipulate the mind, right? In a sense where I'm going to say, okay,
but it goes
but let me finish, and then you guys can jump in. So biblically, biblically.
You said biblically. Why are we talking about the Bible right now? Because you said biblically. You see, I'm stepping into your realm. I don't deal in biblically. The reason I don't deal in biblically is because I don't deal in guessing games. I don't deal in interpreting allegories and metaphors. So I don't deal in biblically. I deal in ism. I deal in logic. I deal in what is functional and helpful for upright people in society. You said biblically.
I did.
You identify as a Christian, correct?
Yes, I do.
So we are even taking your book as the basis of the argument and saying, based on your book, what you said doesn't hold water. You don't realize that you have been manipulated by the United States government and the power holders to make sure that you have a small family and a small progeny, so you are weak and easily controlled. Because when you look historically, warlords and those who have wealth, they build it through a large family. And even if you look at aristocracy anywhere in the world, from China to Europe to Africa, it's all about family ties and family bonds. And often the rulers use marriage to grow their strength, power, and influence. Come on now, man. The rulers want you to have a small family and less influence and less wealth. There is no logical reason that it is better to be monogamous than polygynous in terms of marriage.
So you're trying to state. So let me finish.
Not trying. I've stated everything clearly. I don't try. I get across the line.
When I was speaking, I didn't know this was going to be a fully religious debate. Okay, I am a Christian, but I spoke. Hold on, I spoke in that saying I personally do that. Right? I still personally be with other women, but it doesn't. What I'm saying is, if what I'm doing is right or wrong, and I'm stating that it's still wrong. Having multiple wives, that's all wrong. Right now, that's what I'm trying. I'm not trying to. You're trying to preach to people to be delusional, like these OnlyFans chicks. They're pretty much saying. I think it's just as delusional what you're trying to explain, and I'll explain why. Just because
we're listening.
So these OnlyFans chicks that are coming on here saying,
"No, don't give the metaphor. Just tell us what I'm saying. That's delusional, because that's extraordinary."
Oh,
I want to hear that part.
That is. So when you're saying that men are made to have multiple wives, where are you getting that logic from? That's what I want to know.
So
number one.
Are you asking me a question?
I want to know where you're getting that logic from.
Okay, great.
Like without, I mean, go ahead. I'll let you just go.
Right. Because you just asked me a question, which is ironic because I asked you a question and your response to my question was a question, but I will still respond to you. So number one, the human male has a libido that is about breadth. They want variety. They want a higher number of. The female libido we've observed is about depth. They want to do more things with the guy that they've chosen to be of one flesh with. Now, when we talk about who should have multiple wives and who shouldn't, I don't recommend this to all men. I recommend this to great men and to the leadership class. I think most men probably ought to have one or none, which is to say that the men, there's a triangle to all things. There's those who are at the top of the triangle, those who are at the bottom. Those at the bottom, the wicked, those men who are unproductive, dishonest, mentally unwell, economically disempowered, they shouldn't have any woman. They can't manage a woman. They don't have the emotional intelligence. They don't have the finances. They don't have the leadership abilities. They don't have any of the things required to make a successful family. They deserve 0 women. So as a result, you will inevitably have a greater number of women that need to be cared for and led, which is why the men at the top of the triangle, the leadership class, who have superior genetics, superior IQ, superior income, superior habits, superior emotional intelligence, they will have a superior number of women, 2, 3, 4. Now that you understand that, as a Christian, just because you said you were a Christian and in your initial argument, you were basing it on the Bible, even though you've clearly shown a lack of knowledge of the Bible. If you look at the data in America and ask yourself, are there equal numbers of female Christians and male Christians? You will find that there's about 20 million more female Christians than there are male Christians. And with that being the case, we see that it is clearly at some level ordained that some men would have to take responsibility for additional women. It is not about sex. It is not about perversion. It is about strong families, spreading your lineage and spreading our way. What you should also observe is that we are in a day where wickedness is pervading the earth, and we need the good peoples of the earth to do what God commanded: multiply. And you easily multiply when you have a multiple of women.
So that makes a lot of sense. I mean, a lot of men are not Christians right now. I mean, they're not even following the Bible. They're not following the
Even
word.
the Christians aren't Christians. What? Come on.
You're completely right on that. They aren't. So the whole thing is back in the day, there was way more Christian men, way more leaders, way more men that demanded respect. They weren't getting cheated on by their women. And you can see the whole difference from everybody from then to now. So, I mean, these women that are all promiscuous, there's no men stepping up to lead. Why is that? Why are no men stepping up to lead? Why is there less great men? Why are all these men being cheated on and simped? This wasn't happening before. This is a newer thing. There's way more women taking control. Men that used to follow the word used to be stronger men. It shows that. So you see a whole lack of discipline in men now. I mean, it completely shows. You see, I know so many men, and I'm saying really disciplined Christian men that own businesses all around me, they're keep building and building and building up. They have a great bond, but they are the man of the house when it comes to their wife. I see that all the time. Now that's why these women are winning out here. They're all these women are winning. Men are weak now. I mean, I know you can agree with me.
The women are not winning. The women are losing. When a woman is uncared for, she is losing. When she has to go to sleep by herself on a regular basis, she is losing.
We
when
know
she doesn't
that
have
at
a
the
man
end of the
above
day,
her, she's losing.
I understand that at the end of the day, they are losing. But the young ones think they're winning. They won't find out they're losing until they're like 40 years old. I see them all day at the bar. They'll be at the bar.
So what's the point on all this? What's the point? Are you saying we need to go Taliban on these hoes?
Man, we already are. I mean, the real ones are. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the real ones are going like that on them. See, no women can control me. Nobody can control me. Not the world. I don't let nothing control me. That's the reason I'm able to build the way I build. I do what I do. I mean, I'm looking at you in the same way in that regard, but okay. I think we have two different outlooks on that, on this specific thing. Now,
no, for example, if you, because I got a 3-sentence Bible: be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. Number one, be yourself. If you say, you know what, Marquett, I have the managerial skills to have more than one woman. I got the leadership skills to have more than one woman. I have the income to do it. I have the emotional intelligence to do it, but it's not something that I desire. I'll say, fantastic. Be yourself.
I think all men desire that, but I believe it's wrong. That's why I don't do it. And I've done so much.
So your natural desires are wicked?
I believe
Your
every
natural desires are wicked?
I believe most natural desires are wicked. I mean,
That
even
was
when
crazy.
well, think about it. When a kid's born, he's always trying to do wrong, and you have to teach him and discipline him, just like in anything else. I mean, I don't know if I know you do boxing, right? I do
All right.
MMA, I surf,
Mhm.
I own my own business, I take care of
Okay.
my kids. All that requires discipline. Having
Okay.
multiple women or having one woman, it takes a lot of discipline to have
Okay.
one woman and be good to that woman. But you got to be the leader of that woman. You can't just go over there and just act like a simp, a fool, and let this woman walk all over you or cheat on you. You got to
It's more
identify that.
likely. It's more likely that the monogamous male is going to be the simp than the polygynous male. The polygynous male is doing something that most men would only dream of doing. That is why a PIMP is so admired and discussed and studied and puzzled at, because they do something that most men can't do, which is to have multiple women who accept one another and would even feel like he's such a prize that they have to honor him with gifts in the same way that kings are honored with gifts. Let me acknowledge some of the folks supporting the work. Shout out to Darius, writes, Marquett Rico. I acknowledge Philip, writes, Peace of Saints Tuition. This is pure high-end truth, but they don't know. Shout out to Mr. Baker supporting the work. I appreciate you. He writes, Matthew 5:18, For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. He writes, Is Christ lying, Jacob? You said things changed. Carrying
Matthew.
on.
No,
Shout out
Matthew,
to
though. That's New Testament.
right. And he's
That's
saying in the
Jesus.
New Testament, it's saying all be fulfilled, meaning all of the word.
Again, though, this is Jesus speaking in the New Testament. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, that seems people obviously don't know that.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Natural Selection. He writes, Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I've come to this is one of my favorites, actually. Do not think that I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them, which is to say that which preceded me. The laws that were spoken of in the Old Testament, perhaps, the messengers from the Old Testament, I've come to fulfill what they spoke of. That's what that means.
He's talking
Which
about
is to say that you do not throw out the Old Testament. That's why the book is there. If the Old Testament was rubbish, why even include it? It doesn't make sense. Shout out to Major Mind and Soul. Writes Matthew 17:18. He hitting you with the same words. Basically, Jesus saying, look, like all that, throw away the Old Testament is nonsense. Shout out to none of the above. He writes, I'm going to be candid here. This guy is WEAK. That's all, folks.
That's all right. I'll lay him out if you ever came up for me.
Bro said that.
That's what I do too. You know what I'm saying?
Peace of the Saints. Austin writes, can't debate a religious person. They're too slippery. When you think you got them in a corner, it's always, quote, that's the Old Testament, or, quote, that was a metaphor not being taken literally, end quote. They be Muhammad Ali on the ropes. Can't hit him. Bro, I feel you, man. They be hitting you with that shoulder roll off the ropes. And count is crazy out here. Yes, indeed. And that's precisely why I got a 3-sentence Bible. And we have people who are on this earth giving an example today of how to live in an upright way. The Bible is a beautiful work. The Torah is a beautiful work. The Quran is a beautiful work. But it's a shame the way the Christians, Muslims, and Jews behave on a daily basis. And I think rather than trying to proselytize or share their word, it's like, damn, can you give us a good example? And here's the thing that really trips me out on you and the women arguing against polygyny. You argue against polygyny, but don't seem to argue against all these damn divorces. Don't seem to argue against all these single mothers. Don't argue against all these bastard children. Don't argue against all these unruly women. Don't argue against all this premarital sex and kids out of wedlock. But you argue against the idea of a man being responsible and saying to this woman, you're mine. Those kids you have are mine. I'm going to take care of you till the day I die. You argue against that. I find that today we have synagogues of Satan. We have churches with LGBTQ flags. We have mosques where they engage in filth and homosexuality. This is disgusting. And you guys are focused on tearing down the things that are actually good, which lets me know we have come to a time where left is right and up is down.
Damn, you put me in that category? That shit, oh, sorry, that has nothing to do. I would never be put in that category. That has nothing to do with me, man. That's wild right there.
No, that's really what it is. When you argue against polygyny, which is the idea of a man being responsible for a woman, all women that he chooses to deal with, and the kids that he creates, That's what you're essentially arguing in favor of, the lies that we observe today. You observe huge divorce rates among the monogamous. You observe huge levels of sexual liberation. It's extraordinary that the males in monogamous situations don't realize that you're basically yielding to a female. You're under female leadership and control. There's no man on earth who's strong and who can have the women that he wants, who says, I'm going to just leave it on the table. Nobody leaves money on the table.
I understand what you're saying, but I was not one of those men. Me and my friends around me have all been with multiple women most of our lives. We've been doing this since, I mean, we're an older crowd. We've been doing this since we were in junior high, man. It all comes to a head where you're like, this is just so wrong. I can let you know, even the guys that are older than me.
No, what you're doing is wrong. I agree. How? What you're describing is wrong. I'm not condemning you. I'm just saying what you're describing, that's wrong. Lying to women, that's wrong. Having
I don't lie to women. That's one thing I don't do. I actually
okay. Well, then why don't you just marry them, have kids with them, and live with a nice, happy family?
Why would I marry them? I'm marrying these hoes. And I'm saying, like,
okay,
what are you talking about?
Stop sleeping with them. That is wrong. Shout out to Gio.
What do you mean? How is that wrong?
Shout out to Gio. He writes, respect to the guests for showing up, but man, you are unprepared for this. Marquett is cooking. Peace of the saints. Shout out to King. He writes, 1 Samuel verses 1-3. Bro just hit 1,000 verses. He writes, proof God wasn't against men having multiple wives. He gave King David. Man, hit us with like 30 scriptures just now. Shout out to David. He writes, I thank the gentleman for being on. I've learned a lot this evening. Peace of the saints indeed. And I hope we all have. And I think one of the worst things we can do is think that if we have natural instincts and natural desire that is inherent to a healthy human man, that it is somehow wrong. No, those are good instincts. You just have to honor them in responsible ways. Like, for example, I might have the instinct to punch somebody out. It's not right to just walk down the street and punch somebody out, but in the context of a boxing ring, I can honor that. And that's the key, is context is important. It's not always what you do, it's how you do. And we honor the fact that the man has the capacity for violence and aggressiveness. That's why we're great protectors of women. We don't say that instinct is wrong and negative.
Why would you want to have multiple wives? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you even want to?
Wow,
these women are crazy, man. No, these women are crazy as hell. Why would you even want to do that? No, hold on. So you're going to tell me, I see you talk to these women. I've seen you. You would want to have multiple wives? Really?
You see, a woman that you would have as a wife is different than a woman that you might observe me flirting with on YouTube for entertainment purposes, or even for instructional purposes.
You got me there.
Yeah. And similarly, like, for example, I had breakfast before we hopped on this call, right? And I was so busy. And I'm thankful to have a good woman prepare me a breakfast. You never seen that woman on camera. You never heard her voice, because honorable women don't want to be on camera. They like to stand behind their man. They like to be invisible. They like to be the shadow of their man. You see,
have you been married?
So, shout out to Idris. He writes, peace of the saints, MMA, sir. The apostles taught the gospel with only the law and prophets, aka the Old Testament. These testimonies of the New Testament weren't in existence. Are you skilled enough to teach the gospel with only the Old Testament, like the saints, sir? By the way, that's a bowler alert.
I'm not trying to teach. I'm not here to teach the Bible. I based mine off of that and myself. So I wasn't here to come and teach the word. That's not what I came here for. I didn't know that's what you thought I was coming here for. Because if you were to see the clip, that was one based off of what I did. Only one thing, only one part that I said. So
J-Mo writes,
go ahead.
Bro is scared of commitment and told on himself. But
I've been married. That's why I would never be married again. And I guarantee you, if you were married, you ain't gonna get married to two women. I guarantee.
Not legally. Not legally. Shout out to Mr. Gardner. He writes, peace of the saints, tuition, keep cooking. Sir, it's apparently all I know how to do. The Iron Chef is here. That's crazy. Yeah. So I think our chief differences here are that you're saying that you like to have fun with women. You don't want to serve them as a husband. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Like, you'd like to have fun with women. You don't want to serve them as a husband. And then condemning that behavior in yourself, you project and then say polygyny is wrong for great men.
No, I changed my behavior like within the last year. So
Mhm.
so I'm trying to change my own behavior, and you got to understand. I own a business. I get women throwing themselves at me all the time. It's
Mhm.
not a small thing. I get it all the time.
Okay.
Like how a lot of women have men in their DMs all the time
Mhm.
because you understand when you got money and you got things going on, you got things
Mhm.
pushing. Women see that and they come at you. So I
Absolutely.
can be with as many as I want. I've been trying to control myself, my desires, and become a different man. That's what I've been trying to do lately, and it's a tough thing to do. But I see all
Mhm.
these men with money that have all
Uh-huh.
these women. They're not
Mhm.
happy, dude. I see it
Okay.
all day long, man. I have so many friends that have so
We're
much
not talking
money.
about polygyny. You're talking about people being philanderers. You're talking about people being womanizers. You're not talking about polygyny.
The guys I know, all their women know they have other women. They all know about each other. These dudes are
And that's
still not
still not
happy.
polygyny. That's still
It's
not polygyny.
how closer can you get though when it comes to that, right?
Well,
Especially
it's
out
nowhere
here.
near it. It's nowhere near it because you're dealing with whores as opposed to women that you think are worthy of impregnating and taking care of. So it's quite far away. It's
Well,
really the
no,
difference in terms of the women they're dealing with. It's the difference between dealing with a Rolls Royce and a Toyota. You see, like, to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to be caught dead in a Toyota. You dig? But if I had a Rolls Royce, I'd show it off to everyone. And with your side girls, you don't really want to be seen with them if you're an honorable, respectable man. Whereas with your wife, you're proud enough of her that you would give her your name, you see, and let her represent you in the same way you'd be proud to show off a Rolls Royce. So it's radically different. And
no,
your
no.
attempt
I'm
to liken these things is quite strange. It's like, why not
no,
just
no,
admit
no.
that they're different?
That's not what it is. I'm telling you, the men that I know, all their women are dime pieces, good women, and they're
But they're
not being
good
with any
women.
other. They're not being with other men. They're not doing that. These guys
So
got them
you
in
saying
check.
they're dime pieces and they're good women.
Well, they're not being with other men. They're not cheating on them. They're doing whatever this dude wants them. Just like how what you would have with your polygamy with wives. They're doing whatever this dude wants them to do. He got them in the
Okay.
bag. He has them in the bag.
Okay.
A lot of my friends got it like that. They're older. I've dealt
Uh-huh.
with these dudes for a long time, and they're all business owners. And I see this. They could be doing the same thing, but they choose not to marry these women. They choose not to do that. But these girls
Okay.
are just hanging on by a thread. So I
Okay.
still don't get that point. It still doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, that's not what I'm promoting. That's not what I do. That's unrelated. Shout out to Majesty. He writes, no word to support his argument, just feelings. Just
No,
feelings.
I don't go. I
Just
don't go off my
feelings.
feelings. I don't go off
Sh-
my feelings
you heard that Michael
at
Jackson
all.
song? Just feelings. Just feelings. Shout out to Obed. He writes via PayPal. I'm a 21-year-old Latin American male who attends a university in the San Fernando Valley, California. I would like to join and engage in a discussion about his comments. Bro said, I have something to say. Shout out to Mr. Tammer. He writes, I think a huge misconception of having multiple women. And by the way, remind me to send the link. I damn near want to hear what Obed has to say. Just remind me to send the link. Obed, Brody, I don't have your email, my boy. So go ahead and send me your email from something that indicates it's you, like an email address with your name or from your university with a .edu, and we'll return you the link to join on. Mr. Tammer comes in via PayPal. He writes, I think a huge misconception of having multiple women is that they are flings. Maybe a topic for another video is specifically on that. Non-legal marriage with multiple women, not being a liar to women and ditching them if they don't deserve it. Jacob is focusing on flings. He can't understand the big picture.
That's all I
bro,
understand.
bro gave the chuckle.
That's all I
Bro gave the
understand, though, man.
chuckle. Oh, man.
I only work on big pictures, man. That's it. That's all I work on, player. That's all I do.
The gentleman, Obed, go ahead and send me an email from your EDU or from some email address that has your name. I'm going to send you the link back. Oh, boy. And you know what, Jacob? I think that the natural inclination, because I think that we can all agree that God has to have something to do with nature, right? Because God created us. And if you ask yourself, is there one natural God-made way to identify if a woman has been with a man before? Is there a natural God-made way to identify if a woman has been with a man before?
I mean, when I God, no, I don't know. I don't know about that one. God,
You ever
made
heard
way.
of a hymen virginity? Her hymen, when you break it, it bleeds.
Well,
That's a
yeah, yeah.
natural God-made way to verify if a woman has been with a man.
Okay, but I was
Now,
thinking when you meet them. I didn't think as you're
yeah,
you're
fair enough.
smacking.
No, fair enough.
Okay,
I
so
understand. Right? Now, with a man, is there a natural God-made way to verify if a man has been with a woman before?
I mean, yeah, if you nuts quick. I mean, pretty
No, no,
much.
no. There's no natural God-made way to verify if a man has been with a woman before. Yet another indicator that the woman, there's a natural seal on her to figure out, is she new? Is she new to you? Has she been lying? Has she been promiscuous? That seal on the woman verifies that this is a woman that has only been with you, which verifies the idea that she is soil for one man. But in the sense of the man, there is no requirement of a woman that the guy be a virgin. And there's no way for her to even prove it. But God put a seal on every woman to let us know if we were indeed the one that breaks the seal, just as with this bottle of water. Would you want to drink a bottle of water that some other dude you never met is drank from? Hell
No, of
nah.
course not.
You want to twist that cap, and what happens when you twist this cap the first time? You break that seal, lets you know you're the first, lets you know it's fresh water, lets you know that you're the only one who has dealt with this, is not tainted. So a woman shall be soil for one man, but a man, particularly the greatest among us, shall have much soil to plant his seed. Now that's some scripture right there in the holy book of Ism. You dig? Somebody remind me to write that down.
Hey, I'm not arguing with the women's side of that. I don't. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean. I'm not arguing with the women's side of that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And these women can handle that. That's why they're out here being on OnlyFans and doing all this host stuff. But I'm talking about the man. I'm talking about being a good man. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Being a good man means taking care of the responsibilities that you select. If you select to get a woman pregnant and she's willing to be on your program, take care of her, honor her as a wife. That's what I'm saying. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Well, I'm just talking about the polygamy side of it. Like, none of that makes any sense, even logically. I know what you're trying to say. Logically, it does to you, but it doesn't.
Jacob, check this out.
At all.
Jacob, check this out. What I'm actually, how about this? Let me break this down, make this simple for you. And I'm even doing this while I'm emailing the gentleman this link to join on. That's how good I am. But you agree that marriage between one man and one woman is a good thing. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean,
okay,
in the United States, it's kind of hard to say, though, because of the.
Let's remove the law. Let's say marriage under your pastor.
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Now, here's how I'm going to break down your logic. It's so easy. You said that marriage between one man, one woman is a good thing. It's ethical. It's biblically sound. It's a good, positive thing for society, for the man and woman. Great. So now I say, okay, so I'm a man. I marry one woman. And then I take and I pivot and I do the exact same thing with another woman simultaneously. So now because it's done twice, it's bad. What other thing in nature, when you do it twice, it becomes bad? That's strange, my dear boy. If I eat some broccoli and it's good for me, it's good nutritionally, and I eat two, now it's bad? I mean, it doesn't make sense that because you did it twice, it's bad. Generally, when you have something that's good, you generally want more of it. You know, I have some beautiful cars. Why wouldn't I want more beautiful cars? I have 3 employees. Why wouldn't I want 6 employees? I have 2 passive income businesses. Why wouldn't I want 4? Generally, when you adding adds value.
That's wild to me, man.
It's wild.
I understand you're debating. But that's so off from what we're even meaning, like talking about. That's crazy to me.
It's crazy that if you have something good, you want 2 instead of 1.
This whole YouTube thing, I'm newer to it, but like I see a lot of these guys.
Well, what about logic? Are you new to logic though?
No, but that logic that's so far left. That has nothing to do with any of this. That's so far left, man. Like,
that's
come
extraordinary.
on.
That's extraordinary. Obed, Peace of the Saints. How are you?
Peace of the Saints. I want to confirm that my audio is good and my video is good.
Both are good. Everyone in the chat, go ahead, pop a 1 in the chat if you can hear Obed.
Here we go. Here we go. Gary, go ahead.
Fantastic.
And I'll just
go, Obed. Talk to us.
Okay, cool. I just want to make a quick introduction. what's it called? Hello to Marquett. I think this is the first time that I'm donating to the assassin. Hello to all the saints, and then hello to Mr. Baz. I have a point that Marquette pointed out earlier about populating the society, because currently we're experiencing that low performers, in other words, people that are living in destitute environments, poor people to be exact, they populate in great numbers, and it's unfortunate because they'll effectively raise kids, given that their financial situation is not great, their mental state is not great. They'll populate this society, and wouldn't you think it would be better, and the responsibility of people who are upright, who are mentally well, should go ahead and populate the society with more good people, with more goodness? Because we've seen that, at least in part, in our current state, you'll see that people that are in position of power are people that are foolish, they're liars, they're really like low people, and unfortunately they are represented in large numbers. And so how would you combat at least that piece? To Marquette's argument that he pointed out earlier, I do got only 4 questions, and I'll go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day.
So you're stating that if good men have children, that it'll just keep pushing their understanding of being a good male onto these children. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying what's called that good men are very rare, so why should they not be able to have multiple wives and therefore what's called populate the society with more children, based on the fact that we're seeing a common trend that, again, like Marquette has pointed out, not just what's it called in certain minority groups, but just in what's it called in all races, like all ethnicities, people are just people who are, again, living in what's it called, the lowest of conditions, like, again, primarily low intellect. They're going ahead and they're spreading their seed, and unfortunately, like, what's it called, I see a lot of children who are the same, or not children, adults now, who are the same age as me, and they're not respectful, they're not smart, and on top of that, they're what's it called, they lack confidence. So, what's it called, and that's a root cause of not having a good man to lead the household and not having a good father in the family.
Just because you're a smart man or a good man doesn't mean you're going to have great kids. I mean, it's a higher possibility, but I mean, even like, I already know he's going to come at me, but even biblically in the Bible, Cain killed Abel. I mean, we could always go from that, but I mean, at the end of the day,
hold on. Before we talk about the Bible and stuff like that, are you a credible voice to present an opposing stance to Marquette's arguments, given your activities with women in tandem with your spiritual beliefs?
I think I am, in a sense, because
my whole thing is this. Question.
My whole thing is this: I've done all this kind of stuff. I've been married. I've been with all kinds of women. I've done all of this. I have a successful business. I've done this stuff. So I see what happens to men that do that are with so many women, multiple women. I see what happens to them later down the line. I don't want to end up like one of those guys. I know he's talking about that. It's going to be different if you're married to them, but I don't think that.
I'm just asking if you're a credible voice. What's called, because ultimately, main thing that should be the root, the what's called the guiding path of your life is your spirituality. And given that that's the case, it's unfortunate that that you acknowledge this, but yet you still engage in the filthy behaviors of of having multiple women that you say is is not good for society. But yet you want to be a voice and on top of that, create a public representation of your stance on the issue that would be counter to what you're actually experiencing.
I never said I wanted to be a voice. What I'm saying is right and wrong. I never said I wanted to be a voice for that. What I'm saying is what I'm speaking of is right and wrong. I'm not going to speak of delusion. That's just how I am. I've built things up. I've built my businesses up on not being delusional. So I've done everything I do is being strategic all the time. That's how I am. And that's why I'm successful. That's why I do what I do.
It's
And
a
I don't know
yes
if
or no
Marquette's
question,
around.
brother. Are you a credible voice to be able to present an opposing stance?
Yeah, I am.
It's just a yes or no question.
Well, I already said yes, did I not?
Oh, okay. So
You want it
okay.
again?
No. What's it called? I do want to, like I said, I only have 4 questions, and then I'll carry on.
Hold on, Marquette. I just want to say more quick. I had my co-host just showed up. He's right here. I'm just going to
Okay.
bring him on in.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be obviously, as we have a split screen, it'll be a little bit harder to see him unless you're perfectly centered. But you know, we got enough grease to throw in another small fry. You dig? We cooking.
We'll see.
I'm a big fish.
Peace to the Saints. How are
You
you?
make it do what it do over here.
You?
I'm well. And your name?
Rico.
Oh yeah, I saw you on the image. Rico Savage.
Yes, sir.
Your government name is Savage?
Excuse me?
Your government name is Savage? Like my government name, for example, is Marquett Burton. I'm saying your government name is Savage?
No.
Get to the mic though.
No,
so
it's
why
not.
do you call yourself Savage?
Is this I had a clothing line. The last name was Savage. So you know what I mean? It kind of stuck, and then people, friends and stuff, they say it, so
Okay.
kind of carried along.
Okay. So you don't consider yourself a savage, but you call yourself a savage.
Oh, he is.
It's I mean, you can be a savage in all type of ways, bad ways, good ways. So yes, I do in certain situations. I mean, I don't know why you're shaking your head. I mean, it's like almost saying like you don't consider yourself a survivor. So you know what I mean?
No, I'm shaking my head up and down, which
No,
means
I was talking about the other guy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because you said you, and I was the last person talking.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, but yeah, no, that's not my last name, no.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we got Rico Savage here, co-host with Jacob, and so he'll be in the discussion as well. So we did introduce you, just acknowledge that you're here. I think there was like a conversation that was going on, so I don't want to derail it. So I'll yield back to Obed so he can carry on.
Thank you, Marquette. So what's good? I guess now that you're included, I do want to now extend this to you as well. Do you believe, like what's good, since great men generally have multiple pursuits, we generally tend to refer these folks as Renaissance men. They are talented in multiple interests or topics, and they're actually good enough to be able to become professional or even professionally pursue some of those subject areas. So should a person who is the good man, should he not have multiple women to aid him when he's trying to live grand? And then I guess, do great men deserve multiple women?
Great men deserve whatever they worked for and what they've earned. Now, if it's women, it could be, but the whole thing was marriage. It's the difference between having multiple women when you're single and multiple women when you're married. If you're out there and you're married, that's why it's single and there's marriage. When you're
okay, well, let me introduce a scenario in which you're actually honest with. Let's just say you wanted to get a stable, and you have, 3 things that you're talking to, and that you actually want to take seriously because you just live that grand lifestyle.
I want to take
and because you're in multiple pursuits, right? You're a person who is investing in property. You might be like Marquette, who's also a software developer, and you have many tasks that you need to handle at once. Generally, these things can be done by one person, but it's extremely difficult, and humans operate better when they're focusing on one task. So would it not be smart and just to have multiple females in your life, ones who love you, ones who care about you, ones who ones whom you can trust, that can help you operate at a higher level? In other
I
words,
mean, from what it sounds like, you're trying to compare somebody that has, as far as Marquette, a business and who would need help, so he would hire an assistant. He wouldn't hire somebody,
right.
you know what I mean? Right. So, and then you're talking about having multiple women and a man having troubles in his life. So if I have troubles in my life, that would have to be sexually. And if I need other women to handle my business, I'm doing something wrong. Because me as a man, I should be able to handle whatever I need to handle on my own, or hire an assistant, not other females, to take care of what I need to take care of. So if you're
The wives can be assistants.
A wife can be an assistant. Why would I
Right,
need?
but we're speaking
Watch
about
this.
multiple
Okay, so
wives here.
hold on. So if the task is that big, where I need 3 women to do it, I shouldn't be doing it.
Why?
Wouldn't that mean your goals are actually
how many people does it take?
are actually where they need to be, which is to say they're too big?
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of at the end of the day. If it's that
here.
difficult, either you need to hire somebody else, you shouldn't be doing it.
So I'm gonna pull Obed off just so I can widen the screen, because we got 2 guys on their side. Obed, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the work and for joining on. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and I know you're going to be very successful. And so,
how do I join the Assassin before I head out? Because I'm in the Los Angeles area, and I'd actually like to meet the folks under your community.
It's some good brothers over there in Los Angeles, and you better start getting in shape now. If you're not already, if your cardio game ain't strong,
I'm in great shape.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go to thesassin.com, THESASN.com. Once you join, you'll go through new member orientation. They'll connect you with Chris, who's the executive in Southern California, and they'll get you plugged in with the guys. And you're going to love it. I promise you. I could already tell.
Thank you, Marquette.
Absolutely. Pleasure to meet. Peace to the Saints.
To the other 2 gentlemen, too. Have a great day.
Have a good one.
Absolutely. Okay, let's cook. Okay, so Rico, are you of the same position as Jacob, which is to say that you believe it is wrong the act of polygyny is wrong?
Yeah, I believe a man should only have one wife. I grew up in a household with a mom and dad. You know what I mean? There wasn't multiple moms. You know what I mean? That's my stance on it.
Polygyny, that's a specific stance of a male having multiple wives. The other thing that you're talking about is a filthy situation, which I too agree is inappropriate. So let's be clear. We're talking about polygyny, a man having multiple wives, which is something that you can observe in China, you can observe in Egypt, you can observe throughout sub-Saharan Africa today, you can observe everywhere in the world. That is what we're talking about.
No, I mean, that's not my stance. No, I'm not for it.
Okay. There's one thing to be not for it, but there's another thing to be against it. So for example, I'm not for monogamy for myself, but I'm also not against it. So for example, like you and Jacob, I think you guys should be monogamous. I think that's the perfect thing for you guys, is to be monogamous. I think it's a great thing for you gentlemen. And I think it's an even greater thing for me to be polygynous. So are you against polygyny?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, we can cook then. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and catch up on these super chats, and then we're going to get to work. May I acknowledge Mr. Baker? He writes, quote, "A lot of my friends' women's are dimes, submissive, and faithful. Jacob, do you consider why men sometimes view Christians as liars?"
Yeah, a lot of Christians are liars.
Shout to none of the above 101. He writes, to the guest,
that was a great one, man.
To the guest, I respect you defending your stance. However, you've yet to make an argument backed by linear logic or your Bible. All attempts have been pulverized. So yes, you are intellectually weak in the context of this debate. Damn. Shout out to Kevin. He writes, he's the definition of a beta male. He'll never understand satisfying multiple women to want them to agree to get along and accept one husband.
That dude will get slapped, and I'll take his chick so he can shut his mouth.
Shout out to Seven, comes in via PayPal. He writes,
over here.
and by the way, Rico, are you also saying that it's wrong due to your biblical understanding or just due to your personal feelings?
Yeah, I mean, you can say my morals and then too also biblically.
Okay, so biblically. Okay, got it. Fantastic. Seven writes via PayPal. He writes Ephesians 5:31. quote, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh.
Yes.
Were you around when we discussed the one flesh piece? Because you
No.
seem like excited
he
just now
wasn't.
for some reason.
No, I know the Bible. I'm pretty.
Okay, so do you know the word better than Jacob? Because he seemed like he ain't know the word at all.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he ain't know the word at all. We've been going through the word. Were you in the background listening to some of this ism?
No, he
Or
wasn't
did
here yet.
I wasn't
Okay, he wasn't
here
here. Okay, great. So you seem really excited about that verse that was just shared about one flesh. What do you interpret that to mean?
I mean, just like in 1 Timothy 3:2, it says that church leaders should be husbands of one wife. So, I mean, just like
Let's pull that up. Repeat that for me. I just want to pull it up for you. You said 1 Timothy
3:2.
1 Timothy 3:2. And it's a pity that you showed up late. I would have really liked you to have already been here, and then we wouldn't have to go backward. But I got time. Actually, I don't have time, but I'm gonna take out the time.
Appreciate it. You don't have to
Absolutely. All right, so here we go. You reference 1 Timothy 3:2, correct?
Now the overseas of the above.
I just want to make sure I pulled up the right verse. I'm not trying to debate that. I'm just saying you said 1 Timothy 3:2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So we have 1 Timothy 3:2, and I'm just going to read it here. Now the overseer is to be above reproach, faithful to his wife, temperate, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach. Okay, so what is the critical part here?
Faithful to his wife, not his wives. It's not plural.
All right, it's not plural. Now let me ask you a question. Is there anywhere in the Bible where it is spoken of having multiple wives?
Yes.
Yes, great. So we're dealing with a text that is allegorical, metaphorical, and also often contradictory. So I already stated that in the beginning. We know that that's kind of what we're dealing in muddy waters. But regardless, you're basically trying to infer. Here you're trying to infer that because it's referencing one wife, having multiple wives is prohibited. That is intellectually dishonest. That's a specious argument, which is to say that on the surface, it seems like it makes sense, but it's not credible. References one wife does not mean that it has negated the possibility or righteousness of having more than one wife.
Correct.
Can you acknowledge that?
Right. But also, but you got it. But see, when you're talking about the Bible, when you're talking about certain things, you got to realize when they are talking about it. There's Old Testament, there's New Testament. You have to realize when they're saying it. It's almost like, so if we're not living in today's society and using the same things that they're using in the Old Testament, if we were, it would be kind of crazy nowadays. You know what I mean?
I think that's funny what you're saying. And no, I do know what you mean, but do I agree? Not at all. Okay. And I started off with this earlier using what we call logic, which is to say, is God all knowing? Yes. Did God create man? Yes. Therefore, should God, who's all knowing and created man, should God know man? Yes. Therefore, why would he create a book that has so much guessing in it? Why would he have you playing guessing games in a Bible that's not clear, text that is complex, when in reality, most men are simple-minded? Create a complex text, but most men are simple-minded. These are things you should question. But furthermore, consider this. You're over here saying, oh, we need to understand the context. God is all-knowing. God is ever present before man. And if we all ever, stop existing, he'll be after us as well. Always there. Are you suggesting that God wrote a book that was has become obsolete and somehow he could not anticipate what would come of his creations? So he created a book that we now need to reinterpret with our flawed human minds, reinterpret that which God dictated, which was perfect. It's nonsense.
We don't need to reinterpret it. We need to ask for wisdom when you do read the Bible. A lot of people read the Bible without wisdom and not without knowledge.
Without wisdom.
Yeah,
so why
because,
is it that, Rico, do you think anyone's ever called me a wise man?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Do you think anyone's ever called you a wise man?
Yes.
Do you think either of us start reading the Bible and try to turn off our wisdom? No, we both read the Bible using the best of our intellect and wisdom and experience, yet we come to different outcomes. So when you're saying you have to read it with wisdom, that's not even logical because our wisdom leads us to different understandings.
Right, but see, that's the thing that God gave us. That's the one thing that God gave us, and that's free will, and that's free thinking. So even though it says certain things in the Bible, and we don't necessarily agree with them or have different views, that's the one thing, and that's why, because he gave us free will to think outside of how we want to think. If that's the case, everybody would be Christian and think in one way. If that was, you know what I mean. So that's what I get from it.
Okay, so what's your point here?
What you just said. You said, why do we think?
No, because you said you need wisdom to understand the Bible. I said we both have wisdom.
We don't ask for it when you read before you read the Bible. You need to pray and ask for wisdom.
I see.
Far as from Him.
Where in the Bible does it say you need to pray and ask for God's wisdom before reading the Bible?
Common sense.
So you understand it.
That's common sense.
Oh no. We don't use common sense.
We don't.
No, that's not common sense.
You don't use common sense.
No, we don't use common sense. God's word is written. When you're adding what you call common sense, that means you're adding human flaw and human interpretation.
Well, and He knows, and we're all human, and He knows that we were born in sin. We still have the flesh, no matter what, Christian or not.
Okay,
we're of the flesh.
So what we're dealing with right now is religious zealotry. Is that a word? Zealotry? Let's see. Zealotry. Yes, that is a word. Fanatical, uncompromising pursuit of religion. You are very religious, but you're not religiously connected to the word of God. You're religiously connected to your cultural interpretations, because you tell me that we need to read the Bible with wisdom and ask God and pray to God to give us understanding. And then I say, okay, well, where in the scripture does it say that? And then you said use common sense. You didn't think of that, and you didn't come up with that from common sense. You came up with that from preachers. You came up with that from men who are no better than you, who are no closer to God than you. That is a cultural understanding. That is not a textual understanding. And that is why we are so far from God. For example, and shout out to the Muslims and the Jews who are closer to the text. They tend to use their sacred text. In Islam, if you say something, someone can challenge you and say, well, was that God's word? And if you say, yes, it was, they say, well, what was the surah? And because they are actually dedicated and actually believers, they'll say, oh, well, it says in this chapter, in this verse, and they'll quote you in the original language. And they'll say, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. And then they'll say the words exactly, and they'll say, well, that means this. Whereas in your case, you literally said, well, it's common sense. Common sense is based on what a group of people think. Now, here's the thing. If you take what is common, meaning popular, what is common today in the West is LGBTQ. What is common today in the West is errant thinking, backward living, having cat moms and dog moms, living in filthy ways. Common sense is defined by the people that exist in that time, and people are lost today. So how could you possibly think that common sense would give you a greater understanding of God's word when we live in a godless society?
I mean, like I said, it's different. There actually is verses that talk about understanding, and asking. Proverbs 2:3-8.
Okay, so before you go into that one, I just want to note we're going to move off of the first one, and I'm going to pull up the second one that you're referencing. So the first verse that you noted, 1 Timothy 3:2, you suggested that one indicates that man can only have one wife. We already bodied that one. It's unrelated. So now what's the next verse?
You said it was unrelated. They're talking about the verse.
It wasn't unrelated.
First Timothy.
Not us.
No, he said that verse indicates that man is limited to one wife. And I said textually, we just read it together. It does not suggest that man is limited to one wife.
So it would have said wives, then, correct? Just like in other verses.
No, if it was referencing wives, it would have said wives. But in this case, it was referencing wife, which could also apply to those who are polygynous and say when you are engaging with one of your wives or when you are engaging with your wife, which would make sense in both cases, this is how you engage. Does that make sense?
No,
So-
it makes sense, but you're just trying to twist things. Like, how does
No,
that?
I don't twist. I don't
That's
twist.
all
I have
you're
no.
doing is twisting, man.
No,
Like,
no, I don't twist.
It's
When
real
you have
simple.
a failing in your own understanding, you cannot blame the
I-
speaker because your
No, no,
understanding is in lack.
You're trying to
I have
twist
no
the words
incentive
of
to
what- of
twist,
what
and I'll
that
tell you
verse
why I
says.
have no incentive. I have no incentive to twist because I'm not a Christian and I'm not one who hates the Bible. So I have no intention to misinterpret or maliciously misconstrue the facts.
did.
Furthermore,
Wife and
you're not an
wives are two
authority
different
in
things.
theology
Wife
or much
and
else. So
wives
there's no
are
reason for me to
two
misrepresent
different
you.
Things are they not? We could talk murders in the Bible too. Are we talking
Jacob,
about
were you
murder
listening?
being murder?
Jacob,
You
you
know what I'm
weren't listening, but pass it back to Rico right now because we already fried you up.
You didn't
Pass it
fry
to Rico.
nothing.
You need to get this work.
Trust me,
Already
you didn't
fried
fry
you up.
nobody, man. How'd you fry
Bruh,
me?
you got
Yeah.
fried crispy. Pass it to Rico.
To nobody, man. You didn't
Because
fry
Brody
nobody.
said he a savage. We gonna see what it do.
Fry you in every way possible, dude.
Because to me, both of y'all is nice.
I mean,
Nobody, there's only one
so-
savage
okay,
on screen
so-
right now. Both of
Hey.
y'all are nice.
Okay,
We'll
so
see
listen.
about
So the second verse I was talking about was Proverbs 2, 3 through 8.
Okay, let me pull that up. 1 second. You said Proverbs 2.
Cry out. Can you read it?
No, I'm gonna pull it up. Give me a second. This one right here. You talking about Proverbs 2 right here?
Proverbs 2, yeah, 3 through 8. Cry out,
Okay.
cry out. Well, on my side, I mean, my version is cry out for insight and ask for understanding. So when I was saying we need to ask for understanding, when we do read the Bible, we need to ask for understanding so things become clearer. So when I was saying that, ask for understanding, search for them as you would silver, seek them like hidden treasures, then you will understand what it means, the fear of the Lord, and you will gain knowledge of God. So
That's a beautiful thing.
So when I meant ask for, when you do read the Bible and you ask for knowledge before you read, it's almost like you're preparing, you know what I mean? That's what I meant.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's one of the most dangerous things about religion is that you can read that Bible or that verse you just looked at,
Okay.
Proverbs 2, and I can give you a thumbs up like, yeah, that's beautiful. And that sounds good. And then someone named Jim Jones can come along as a Christian preacher and say, I prayed for understanding. Or someone named, who's the boy in Waco? David Koresh, Christian, come along and say, Proverbs 2, I prayed for understanding. And the Lord told me to take everyone to the middle of Texas and to stockpile weapons. He told me that we were fighting against Babylon. I prayed for understanding. And that's what I understood. Jim Jones could tell you that we're facing the apocalypse. The good among us must separate. I prayed for understanding, and that's the understanding that God gave me. You're a religious zealot. You're an illogical person.
No, but see, there's
That's human nature.
At the end of the day, you have to realize what somebody like that is saying is probably off his rocker. You can't just because he.
But how do we know God didn't tell him that when he prayed for
just-
understanding? You cannot know that. That's the whole basis of why your religious zealotry is dangerous.
It shows in a person's actions. Just because a person says they're a pastor doesn't mean I'm going to follow them and believe them. They have to show action. I have to be convicted of what they're saying in order for me to believe it. Anybody can say they're a pastor.
You know that there were more people convicted of what David Koresh was saying than what you're saying. Do you realize that?
And
there are more people convicted of what Jim Jones was saying than what you're saying. Do you understand that?
And those people were weak-minded. I mean, sad to say,
but here's the thing: they would say that you're weak-minded. You're both dealing in subjectivity. Real quick, I'm gonna pass it back to you, Jacob. 1 second, Jacob. I'm gonna pass it back to you. You got the first hour. Let this man get cooked. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Rico.
Get in how you usually get in. Like,
you can't talk in the background. Give us a little bit of time, Jacob.
All right.
What you're saying, Rico, is you're insulting people who have a different interpretation of something that must be interpreted.
No, it's not an insult. It's my opinion.
Right. You're insulting them. You're saying that they were lost. They were misguided. And then they would look at you and say that you're lost.
They obviously follow
you can't talk while I'm talking.
Go ahead.
Please don't talk while I'm talking. Is that a fair request of you?
Appreciate it. Go ahead.
Okay. You're saying the same things about them that they would certainly say about you. And that's precisely why when we talk about any of these sacred texts, we must talk about what is written. And still, we will have disagreement, misinterpretation, and misunderstanding. But when we start talking about what we prayed for in terms of understanding and getting away from that which is textual, then we will have infinite numbers of disagreements, because we're already trying to interpret a text that is largely contradictory and is written in allegory and metaphor. And imagine interpreting allegory and metaphor and long form stories into different languages. And as you guys mentioned further, it's out of context, and context would only matter if it actually was not a divine work. Context matters for human beings because we have limited scope, limited knowing, limited existence. We're limited to a time in which we exist or the previous times which we understand. But God is infinite and all-knowing and could dictate a text that would last the full scope of human existence. So it wouldn't be sensible to suggest that God wrote with a limited understanding such that we have to interpret based on all this context and all this other stuff. It's nonsense.
But he gave us free will. That's the
Where
whole
do you get this free will stuff?
I mean, it's all
where do you get this free will stuff? Like, why are you bringing up free will? What is the relevance?
You just said the text that is written isn't real or isn't right because everybody does what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't say they do what they want to do. I said they have different understandings.
I mean, and that's because everybody thinks differently, and God gave us a free will to think differently. Just because it says it in the Bible doesn't mean we have to believe it. You know what I mean? That's the free will.
I just want to repeat that. I want to repeat that for everyone listening. You stated just because it says it in the Bible
you don't have to believe it. Now when you become a believer,
I want to repeat that real quick. I want to make sure everyone heard what you said. Just because it says it in the Bible, as a Christian, you don't have to believe it. Is that what you meant?
If that was the case, I will force what I believe onto you. So if I felt the way that I feel about the Bible and there was no other option, I would argue with everybody every day. But I know that everybody's going to have different beliefs because you don't have to believe. It's up to you to believe if you want to or not. Wow. That's the beauty of having different religions and having different faiths. You can believe whatever you want to believe. Is that not? Don't you believe whatever you want to believe?
That's correct. I do believe what I choose to believe.
Right.
But that has
just because the book said it, just because the book said it, does that mean you have to believe it? No. That's what you choose to do.
No, if a book says it and you say that you are a Muslim, a Christian, or a Jew, if you are a Jew, the Torah, that is the beginning and the ending. Right. As far as you're concerned. If you're a Muslim, the Quran, that is the beginning and the ending as far as you're concerned. If you're a Christian, the Bible, whatever version you follow, that is the beginning and the ending as far as you're concerned. And to be religious is not a casual thing. People use the term and say religious extremist. This is a strange term. It's redundant almost. To be religious is extreme. You are not supposed to be of this world. You're not supposed to be worldly. You're supposed to be of God. And if you observe Jesus, he was in fact a revolutionary, going very much so against what was prevalent and dominant in his society. So yes, you should be fairly radical. Yes, the prescriptions in the Bible, what it tells you to do, would have you look quite different than the persons around you who are non-believers. When you look too much like a non-believer with tattoos on your hands, you look like the criminals. When you look too much like a non-believer and behave like them, you know what you might find? You're not a believer. You're not a follower of God. Realize what's going on. You're just being delusional and dishonest.
But everybody falls short of the glory of God. That's the thing. That's the thing.
And that's the excuse that weak males use to cover over their lack of discipline.
It's not an excuse. That's life. You can't. Nobody's perfect. So that's like saying, so just because you have a tattoo.
That's what women like to say. Nobody's perfect. I'm not judging.
I mean, are you perfect? Are you perfect?
Clearly not, but we're not talking about perfection. What we're talking about.
You just talked about perfection.
I did not. No, I did not. I said if you're a religious person, you
and I have tattoos, and I have tattoos, and or if I do certain things that I'm not a Christian or I'm not walking like
you don't
God.
Look like a Christian. You don't look like a Christian. You don't think like a Christian. You don't live like a Christian.
What do Christians look like?
That's what I'm telling you. It's God, described in the Bible.
The image of God is a blonde hair, blue-eyed white man.
Who said that? Who said that? Does the Bible say that?
Because
whoa, hold on. Does the Bible say that?
People.
See, that's the difference between you and I.
Just like when
and this is why I'm more Christian than the Christians. I'm more Christian than the Christians. I'm more Muslim than the Muslims.
Just like how you said, people looking a certain way and not following God how you think they should or how you think they should look.
It's all about the Bible. That you every time you hear, listen, Rico, every time Jacob, every time you guys say something, I keep asking you, where is that in the Bible? Your book.
No,
because you guys are going by your Christian facade. So I keep saying, where does it say that in your book?
So you didn't say tattoos on hands and looking a certain way and acting a certain way. You're not.
I refer to the way you're dressing. I said you don't dress like Christians. You don't behave like Christians.
So, and I asked you, what do Christians
yes,
dress
you can.
and look like?
I am going to answer that now because I appreciate that question. And I think the Hebrew Israelites speak they really execute well on this particular one, because if I were a Christian, I'm going to follow the Bible. I'm not going to follow culture. I'm not going to follow what is common. I'm not going to follow common sense, as you put it. I'm not even going to follow a pastor. I'm going to follow the word of God in the Bible if I'm a Christian. So as a Christian, I'm not a Christian. I'm all of the great religions rolled into one. But if I were a Christian and I wanted to know what do Christians dress like, I would search up that in the Bible. So you guys are Christians. What does the Bible say about how you should dress?
I've never seen anything about it.
Wow. Stop it. Why do the Hebrew Israelites dress the way they dress? Did they just make that up?
I'm pretty sure they have reasoning.
Yeah. And where do you think it comes from?
Their Bible.
Their Bible.
Yes.
Got you.
There's
so
versions,
you don't think
right?
that the Bible describes how people should dress?
No.
Who said no? Does the Bible describe how a man should dress or how a woman should dress?
Well, you obviously got something up your sleeve, so I've never throw it out, because I mean, this sounds ridiculous, man. Like,
no, you guys are Christians, and I'm just tripping because debating on things. Now, let me ask you this.
You're like,
this is the thing that kills me about you guys.
Almost, man, this is
wild.
This is
the thing that kills me about
women
people.
Can argue with anything, and that's what.
Check this out, Jacob.
It's wild to me, man.
No, Jacob, this is what kills me about you guys.
Go ahead, do your thing.
There are very few things you can consider yourself an expert of, or you can identify as, while just having read one book. If you wanted to become an archaeologist, you couldn't be an archaeologist just having studied one book of archaeology. You could not be a physicist if you had just studied one book on physics. However, uniquely, you can be a Christian while just having studied one book. It's called the Bible.
You see,
have you not the decency as a Christian to at least read the damn book? It's just one. So when I ask you, how should you dress, which is something you have to do every single day, how should you dress as a Christian man or a Christian woman? You should know there's only one book that qualifies you, and you haven't even read the book. That's what I'm saying.
So if I don't dress that way, it cancels me out.
If you don't dress that way, and that's something that you do every single day, you'd probably be engaging in unrepentant sin, and you'd be showing yourself not to be one who is dedicated to your cause. For example, you're wearing a White Sox hat. You represent a baseball team, but would represent Jesus, who you believe died for your sins and is the gateway to your eternal salvation.
Because I don't have them around my neck, though, right?
So hold on. Creating an argument for every little thing is what females do, man. This is wild to me. I mean, I literally
imagine coming on a debate talking about you shouldn't argue. Imagine coming on a debate saying you shouldn't argue. That's crazy.
A hat. Like,
that's
this is wild to me. Like what women do, they redirect the argument to make themselves try to win an argument. That's wild to me. I literally feel like I'm in a room with a female. It's wild to me, dude.
That's amazing.
Don't you see that? Don't you see women redirect an argument to go their way? That's what I'm seeing right now.
No, if you want to talk about manliness and femininity, Jacob, let's talk about manliness. You came to debate one-on-one, got obliterated, and then you had to call the homie. You got obliterated. You had to call your man.
This is a female.
That's not manly. Let's talk about that part.
What about your hat?
Got the big bad wolf.
Your hat? Is that a Christian hat?
You got the big bad wolf slaying lambs. Your lambs for the slaughter.
Blew your whole house down. I don't know what you're
talking about. You got lambs over here being slaughtered. Two of you don't equal up to one of me. And that's exactly why I deserve to take all these women and leave you with none.
I feel sorry for your wife, because you guys gonna have so many arguments going back and forth. Like
the only reason that beta males like you don't like polygyny is because you know it's going to leave you without a woman. You don't like polygyny because you know the big dog is going to take the women, and you will be left womanless.
Dude, player, you're talking to the wrong dude. All your
you will be left womanless.
Talk to obviously those dudes. But you're talking to the wrong dude right now.
Brody, we all can see you. Like you're talking like we can't see you. I am lean and trim and strong and fast like a
I
greyhound.
will lay you out.
You are over
so
the hill.
quick, so
You are
fast,
over the hill.
I will make you call my name, buddy. Like you have no chance with me, dude. You would have no
What?
chance. You would have no
Jacob,
chance.
we can see
player.
you. We can literally
You
see
have
you.
no chance.
Come on, Brody.
Hey, how do you
give me
want
a
to do
second.
it? You want to box? You want to
Give me a second.
jiu-jitsu?
Let me
You want to
read
do
these.
MMA? Any way you
Jacob, give
want
me
to
a
go,
second.
player.
Let me read these super chats if you don't mind. Give me a moment here. Kevin writes, he's the definition of a beta male. He'll never understand satisfying multiple women to want them to agree to get along and accept one husband.
That's why he's
Acknowledge none of the above. He writes, what the F is this? A 20v1? Bro, I'm telling you, it's crazy out here. Shout out the son of Ilion. He writes, he's only giving his we getting deep. We got the theologians here. His own personal opinions, blatantly ignoring. Okay, very good. Shout to Idris. He writes, Proverbs 35:6. Stop making your word God's word. Ooh, that's what I was just saying earlier. Shout out to Drip Lord. He writes, Mr. Burton is the CEO of Popeyes today. Sir, I'll take a 2-piece spicy fried hard with fries. Peace of the saints in a real way. Shout out to Alex. He writes, peace of the saints. How can you be faithful to your wife if you have multiple wives? Oh, goodness. Does polygamy lead to a better society? Why not just have fun with multiple women? Okay, there we go. We're already done here. Why not just have fun? Amazing. Shout out to Michael. He writes, just two overweight males. Oh, God. Just two overweight males trying to justify why they can't get multiple wives, but trying to repurpose it as biblical morality.
Sure
I guarantee he smashed more than you do.
Ain't nobody overweight over here.
Let me just finish reading it. But knowing nothing about the Bible, amazing. He writes, misspelled on purpose. Listen, you guys said nobody's overweight over there. If you look at our faces, like people are going to carry weight in their face, either A, based on their genetics, or B, based on overall fat tissue, fat content, right? Or percentage of body fat, right? Rico, you don't think you're overweight?
No.
Come on, bro. Word. All right, bro. That's crazy.
I mean,
if we want to get into stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
we want to get into real shit.
No, the thing is, you're trying to like disrespect.
No.
How
listen,
you not?
Jacob, you said you've watched me before. You said you've watched me before. And here's something we all know about. Listen, here's something we all know about Marquett Burton. If I want to disrespect somebody, I disrespect somebody straight up to their face. I'm really like that. And you in Inland Empire, you're not too far from Los Angeles. You're around people who know me. Listen, no, you're around people who know me in real life. You heard me? If I want to disrespect anybody, I disrespect them straight up. If I want to disrespect you, I will be so vicious and disrespectful, you won't have to guess about it. I just asked him the facts, and I'll tell you why. Because the super chat said he's overweight, and he said he's not overweight. I agree with the super chat, so I asked him to see if he's a real one. Because when you're overweight, God damn it, you're gluttonous, and you need to be real with yourself and fix it. I talk about 30 minutes of sweat every day. I truly believe in fitness. He's overweight. That's why I asked him that, okay? Now listen to me. If I want to disrespect, hold on. I'm going to stop. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to stop. I will let you talk. But I want you guys both to know, if I wanted to disrespect either of you individually or both of you together, I wouldn't hesitate. You listen to me. You's an ant to me in person, boy. Don't play tough on here. I can see you ain't like that.
I will make you cry.
Bro, you overweight. And listen, here's the thing. You're from Inland Empire. We're from a similar era. Here's how I know you. You get tattoos in your hood of your dead homies. You got all this cute shit. You sweet, homie.
You know what I'm saying?
You sweet.
Why you mad? Why you mad?
You're
Dad?
sweet.
Because I can you get
sweet.
out.
And why you got another third fruitcake in the background? Put the camera on that third fruitcake.
Is that why?
How many niggas you need to debate me?
I mean, hey, Vegas ain't far.
How many people do you need to debate the big homie? Your boyfriend to come in the front. Why are you scared?
About him, man. We're about me.
Yeah, he talked, but he don't want to show his face. That's amazing.
Dude, you have no idea what I'll do to you, man.
That's amazing. Bro, you're a fat old man. You will get hurt.
People talk.
You're a fat old man with kids. You're very tough. Fantastic.
I'm telling you to set it up.
Who's your little homie in the background?
I'm putting you on.
I just want to see your little homie because he's running his mouth. Show your little homie.
MMA or jiu-jitsu, whatever you want.
That's cute, man. But real quick, show your little homie in the background.
All your fans, you can't even say yes or no because you're scared.
Great.
Scared.
I'm I'm terrified of this little fat
You're great on
middle-aged
camera,
man.
huh? Debating and
Real quick,
twisting words around,
listen
acting like
to me.
you're somebody.
Jake, we're in the month of September. I will be back in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I will definitely
You
be
can
back
come out to Inland
at
Empire.
the very latest
You
by
come out to Inland
October
Empire.
7th.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
invite
right for
you.
you.
Don't interrupt. I invite you to Las
I'm
Vegas,
inviting
Nevada.
you to come to Inland Empire.
Oh,
There's
you
gyms
scared
all
me.
day out
Okay,
here.
there
Come
we
out
go.
here.
There we
We'll
go.
go to
There
any one
we
of these
go.
MMA gyms.
Oh,
No, you're trying to invite
there
me
we
to your
go.
little, you come out
There
here.
we go.
I spar
Aw.
every day. You come
You
out here, spar any day, right when you
all
come
right, we're
back.
done. We're done with that.
We got
We're done
4 or
with that.
5 different gyms, whatever you want.
We're done with
Come
that.
in,
Okay, so
spar any
so
way
you
you
turn down the
want.
fade. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we are
That's
done. You're
cool. You
scared.
turn down
You're
the fade. That's
scared.
fine.
It's all right. Tell your audience you're scared to
No,
fight
here's
me.
the difference,
Tell your-
bro. I live in
hold on.
Las
How would you
Vegas.
want to
It's a
fight me?
world-renowned. Hold on
How
one
would
second,
you want to
Jacob.
fight me? Explain
One
to me.
second, Jacob.
Say
One
it,
second,
Boxy.
Jacob.
No, because you're gonna talk
Just real
stupid
quick.
like you've been. You're a
Real
female.
quick, Brody.
You redirect everything.
I hear the fade.
No,
Come to
I want the
Vegas.
fade. I want, dude. Give me
Okay,
the
then why
fade.
won't you come to Vegas?
Give me the
People-
fade.
Vegas is a
homie. I
tourist
want it.
destination. Why
Let's
won't you
see
come to
what's
Vegas?
cracking. Hey,
Just
how do
real
you
quick.
want it though? No, hold on,
Real quick.
hold on. How do you
Real
want
quick.
it?
Why
Boxing,
won't you come to Vegas?
kickboxing, MMA, or jiu-jitsu?
No.
Which one?
Listen,
Explain.
Jacob.
Name one. Name one.
I promise you,
Name
if
one.
you ever show up to
Name
Vegas
one. I
and
will
you
be.
see
I'll
me in
show up to
person,
Vegas, I
I'm gonna
guarantee.
ask you, do you need that fade? And I'm gonna pack you to.
You're not talking to
all it's
a
gonna be.
podcaster,
That's
man.
all it's gonna
I
be.
will smash you. I will
That's all it's
smash
gonna
you to
be.
pieces, dude.
Bro, you have
Oh
no
my
reputation.
God.
You have no
Hey, I
background.
know this is all
You
for
are
your
not
audience,
official.
but because you're a little podcaster,
You are not
dude.
official.
But this ain't it, man. This
You
ain't
are
it.
not
Wrong
official,
one.
buddy.
I promise you're talking to the wrong
Jacob,
one.
Jacob,
player.
you're a fat
I
dude
do
in a
this shit
Hawaiian
for
shirt.
fun.
This dude is ridiculous. This dude is ridiculous. Like, who actually thinks this fat old man in a Hawaiian shirt is gonna see me? That boy gonna be so polite in person. It's crazy. That boy gonna be so damn polite. It's ridiculous. People really be trying to go viral out here. It's extraordinary. Now, here's a funny thing too. It's like, bro, I live in Las Vegas. You live in Inland Empire, which means nowhere. And this is the one that got him mad when he said bro is overweight. Then they just flipped out. They didn't went crazy when he said they's overweight. That's what got him mad. If y'all rewind the tape, as soon as I just asked them, I was like, bro, are you overweight? Then they got mad. Damn. It's like women when they say, do I look fat in this dress? You're like, yes, you look fat in that dress. Then they get mad. It's like, come on, we can't live in the truth. A shame. Shout out to Minds Like Parachutes writes, why are there 2 testaments instead of all this confusion? Why isn't the second testament combined with the first? So it could all be one testament. Why was the second testament made? These are good questions. These are good questions. Shout out to the ballers. Shout out to Saint White. He writes, Jacob, if being faithful to one woman is the right thing, why aren't you living by that belief? Because he's not disciplined. He's not a real believer. He's a fake Christian. There's many of them. How can you be true to your faith if you're not following what you know is right? Exactly. And these are called beta males. You heard me? These are beta males. He's not following his Christianity. He's not following his male nature. He's a beta male. He's basically doing what he's allowed to do. And the female tells him, you better just have me because I'm a jealous woman and I control you. So even though you want other women, don't do it or I'll leave you, you fat, ugly guy in a Hawaiian shirt. I'll leave you. Now, here's the funny thing. Number one, I was trying to put him back on so you could see him get up and have that big fat stomach. That's why they got mad when we said they're overweight. Number two, he said, I'll have somebody kidnap you for $5,000. Like, word? That's the going rate? That sounds a bit cheap. That'd be amazing, though. And number three is like, bro, like, your name is Rico Savage, according to you. Like, it's like nobody ever called you a savage except you calling yourself a savage. I asked you off rip. I said, are you a savage? You're like, well, I had a clothing company and the clothing company was called Savage. So now I'm just savage, but you can be savage in many ways. You can be savage in a good way or a bad way. It's like, bro, come on, man. You sweet as hell. You sweet as hell. It's all good. I'm a savage in good ways. Like, bro, come on, man. I asked you, are you a savage? Because generally in the neighborhood, you'll have a nickname, a hood name, your alias, based on you putting in work. So I just want to see, like, oh, are you about that? That's why they call you savage, because you put in work? Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. You're ridiculous. These are amazing. These are Christian gangsters out here. Christian gangsters. I've seen it all. And here's the other thing. They have some other little effeminate nerd in the background. And I said, put the camera on
You
him.
want to talk again? We can talk.
Put the camera on him. Like, where'd the effeminate guy go? Put the camera on him.
The what?
That's strange. Like grown men talking, they don't want to come on camera. Like, why are they
I'm
talking
on
in
camera.
the background?
What you talking
Why are
about?
they talking in the background? I heard somebody say I was going to get kidnapped for 5 Gs. That's hilarious. I want to see that. I would love to
you were
see
supposed to hear that, though.
I would love to see
Dude,
that.
if you know the Inland Empire, you know we're not the ones, man. I know you gotta know. We grew up in this. It's what we do.
Listen, I probably slayed more broads
when it comes to that part, stick to your podcast, player.
Tattoos.
Don't make me not like you.
Just real quick, can we get a tour of your tattoos?
I know this is
just give us a tour of your tattoos, real quick. Give us a tour.
But
just give me a tour of your tattoos.
Explain to you is I like you. Don't make me
Bro,
dislike.
Give me a tour of your tattoos, real quick. Just show us the tattoos, real quick, please. That's all I'm asking.
Explain to you.
All I'm asking is just for just show us some of your tattoos.
You're like a female.
Show us some of your tattoos.
Player, like what?
Like all I'm asking you is just to show us some of your tattoos. Why are you ashamed to show us these cute tattoos?
Nowadays, man, they turn into females. Like,
why can't we see your tattoos?
That's some shit, man.
And let me ask you another thing. Are you overweight?
I'm overweight, yeah.
Thank you. Is Rico overweight?
Yeah, he is. We're both overweight. Okay. It is what it is.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm not gonna lie, but what I'm trying to say. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why did Rico?
But don't try to cook me right now because
no, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. You said yes, and that's that, right?
All right.
Why, when I asked Rico if he's overweight, why did he say no?
I'm not Rico. I'm not Rico. But what I'm saying,
you would agree that he lied.
Well, I'm not going to go back and forth with him on that. I'm saying for me myself,
cool.
I'm back in MMA. I've been training again hard.
Fantastic.
I trained most of my life. I'm back in. I'm going to get back to where I need to be.
Okay, cool. Now here's the thing. When I asked him, so first off, I didn't just out of nowhere say, bro, you're overweight. I didn't say you're fat out of nowhere.
Just have a normal male conversation.
No, listen, just listen. I did not say out of nowhere, you're fat, you're overweight. A super chatter said, you're both overweight. And then I asked him to figure out his self-perception to see if he's delusional, see if he's on the planet Earth. I said, are you overweight? And then he said no, which we both know, all three of us know is a lie. And from then, you both got sensitive. That's where it started. Sensitive. Yeah, no, that's where it started.
Disrespect. You were cussing. You were already going. No.
Oh,
you were cussing.
No.
You were already going, doing your thing.
No,
when
real quick. You tell me,
no
what did I say?
You know what I mean?
What at that point did I say that was disrespectful?
Dude, I don't know. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. You started
cussing. No, you should know. Because you just popped off something.
Cussing
no, you should know. Tell me what I said that was disrespectful. I just want to clarify so we can understand you. You're saying at the point in which I asked him, are you overweight? That's when I was cussing? I was cursing then?
Before that.
Because you're clearly a liar and you don't want to explain because you'll get busted in a lie. I'm going to tell you like this, Brody. In real life, if you ever see me, just because you want to talk disrespect, I want to be clear with both of you guys. If you ever see me in life, I don't care where we're at, ask me for that fade. And I'm going to tell you one thing in my entire life, I never turned down the fade ever. When you see me, ask me for that fade and see me. And here's a crazy thing. Like, you're going to see me. Everybody comes to Vegas. If you want to see me, you'll see me. Nobody goes to Inland Empire. That's like somebody being on my live stream. Like, when you come to Kentucky, we going to fight. Like, bro, I'm never coming to Kentucky. Like, of all the beautiful places, like, I'm never going to show up in your random town in Kentucky, Brody, but come to Vegas. It's like a $50 flight. True story. It's a $50 flight. And if he comes and he win the fade, I'll reimburse him for the flight. You dig? But if he take the L, you got to take the financial losses with it. Come on, Brody, stop it. You don't want smoke with me. We not the same. And that's why I said, see, he tried to talk tough. Like, I'm from Inland Empire. Like, bro, like, I've been through IE. Like, you're weak out there. That's not, IE is not nothing to me. Okay. And here's the thing. If you really was a hitter in IE, when I said, show me your tattoos, you would have had your hood tatted. You would have had the dead homies tatted. That's why I don't have tattoos. Cause I wasn't a gang member. That's why I don't have no tattoos. And the thing is, you're trying to act like you're like that. You're not like that. You're a schoolboy, boy. You're a schoolboy. Okay. So you got these cute ass tattoos. I have a phoenix right here. It represents me rising in life. It's a phoenix. I have a star and a butterfly. Me and my sister got these matching butterfly tattoos. It's like, bro, you see, you're a hoe. Cause in my neighborhood, if I'd have showed up with like some weird ass tattoos, niggas be like, bro, like, what is that? I got Westside Denver Lane tattoo right here, but what's that? Yeah, I got the dead homies tattoo right here. It's a cedar block right here. I got it whacked out. Like, but what's that? Like, what's that? Yeah, come on, bro. Use a nut. Nobody who's like that gets cute tattoos. Stop playing games. Stop playing games. It's amazing. How you come on and get your religion destroyed? I just use your religion as toilet paper. Like, come on, bro, stop it. You're a family man. Behave yourself. That's nonsense. Acknowledge Austin. He writes, has Jacob read the entire Bible front to cover? I think you meant front to back, maybe. Front cover to back cover, maybe. In chronological order of books? I doubt that, Brody. I highly doubt that. Imagine you came on for a debate, got bodied in the debate, and you're going to get beat up. That's terrible. Imagine you're a fat old man in a Hawaiian shirt acting like you really want smoke with real savages. Come on, bro. Like, your homie said his name was Rico Savage. I was like, are you a savage? No, man, I'm not a savage. You could be a good savage. I'm a good savage. I'm a Christian savage. It's like the moment that he said, don't disrespect people, I was like, I'm not disrespecting you, which is, clearly, in my view, I don't even feel like I'm disrespecting you, but you're an ant to me. If I wanted to disrespect you, I'll disrespect you. You heard me? If I want to spit in your face, I spit in your face. Like, who are you to me? You're nothing to me. You're nothing to me. I could tell. Like, I could tell if we went to school together, you'd be like that little weird dude over to the side. Like, if you ever spoke up on my name, like somebody would beat you up for me. You're not even formidable. Like, they probably would just come back and report that they socked you out on my behalf just to get kudos. Like, bro, we not the same out here. You's a nerd, man. You's a real nerd. Stop it out here. Look at this stuff. Like these balls is outrageous. Like, how do you think you can match up with me looking like this? This is the guy that said he'd throw hands with me. Hold up. This guy, look at this guy right here, said he will throw hands with the big homie. That's extraordinary. And then had the nerve to say, yeah, I'm overweight. Like, bro, you got all these people on your platform. Like, you need a whole team to hold you down. Like, you need 30 other people that are more interesting and important than you to establish a presence. Bro, I'm a strong man like Conan, man. I don't need nobody, man. It's the big homie. It's a one-man army, bro. You're not like me. Use a sidekick, man. Use like Robin. I'm Batman. Come on. It's different out here, bro. That's outrageous. Look at this fat rascal right here. Where the pictures at? This dude got all these videos. Where's the pictures? Where's the pictures at? There's little fat rascals right here. Come on, man. Look at this ball right here. He know damn well he couldn't see me with them hands. That's insane. Now, here's the thing. How are you going to say that you're Christian men or that you're even honorable men when you're sitting there lying? I asked, bro, are you overweight? He said he's not overweight. That's what women do. They lie and they're delusional. Then you get mad because I asked you if you're fat based on the super chat saying you're fat. I just want to see if you were deluded, and you are. And that's why you can't trust these beta males. This is all this is, beta males, weak males. Let me wind this one down because I ain't gonna lie, this AC ain't hitting right. Not for the velvet pimping in a tropical climate. Anyways, let's see. We got Austin. He came back. He writes 2 Peter 2:21. For it would be better for them to never have known the way of righteousness than after knowing it to turn back from the holy commandment delivered to them. That's wild, isn't it? If the Bible says that sleeping with multiple women is bad, then why does he do it? No principles. Shout out to Austin. He writes, does Jacob pay for box? Bro, we already know he paid for box. That's a guarantee. Bro was sitting up here lying his butt off talking about, I have friends and all of my friends are really successful and all of their girlfriends are really beautiful. They're dimes and they don't cheat at all. And these men don't want to be with them. They just keep multiple gorgeous, submissive women around for no reason. Like, bro, stop it. Ain't nobody getting fooled by this bull you talking. Shout out to Shahid supporting the work. Came in by just became a member at thesassin.com. That's THESASN.com. Shout out to Ray. He writes, bro is wild. From humans to animals to cells, plants, a seed is planted in multiple partners, including himself and the Bible he uses as his defense. Just admit you were trying to get browning points with a drunk babbling baddie when you made the comment, huh? Down to the atoms, things are made to spread seed, influence, what have you. Exactly. May I acknowledge Sean supporting the work, just became a member actually at thesassin.com. That's THESASN.com. We welcome you to this thing of ours. Earl, he writes, Marquett, you're wrong. Please read out loud Romans 7:2 and 1 Corinthians 7:1. You are a smart man. You will understand. And I would love to challenge your position. Bro said, I would love to challenge your position. Don't challenge me, bro. Be a good Christian. That's all I ask of you. That's all I've asked of you. Be a good Christian. If you believe in that, execute. Shout out to Frank. He writes, common sense in a godless society is antithetical to the word of God. Wow, that was good, boss. Yeah, bro, you hear me? Shout out to Earl. He writes, sorry, I sent $10 and it was $15 to be read aloud. I did read yours aloud. He writes, so here's the other $5. Marquette, you're wrong. Please read out Romans 7:2 and 1 Corinthians 7:1. Gentlemen, feel free to check out Romans 7:2 and 1 Corinthians 7:1. He is saying, I am wrong. So feel free to check that out. Scott comes in by PayPal. He writes, tuition in a room full of Christians. It seems like you're the only one doing God's work. Keep cooking, saint. Sir, yes, sir. Ain't that crazy? Man, these Christians be scamming like a mug. Matter of fact, I kid you not, earlier today, a Christian tried to scam me out of $30,000. That's why I started late, because I was on the phone, just like, bro, what is this contract you sent me? This is not what we discussed. Shout out to Carter. Came in via Venmo. He writes, the same way the gentleman says his friends dealing with multiple women are miserable, turn around and say all the men you know who are in monogamous marriages are miserable. That's a fact. And even more so when the marriage fails. How about that part? Carter comes right back on Venmo. He writes, shout out to the young man and the new member, Obed. He should get the master communicator course so he can get rid of some of his bad habits when listening and speaking. He has good ideas, but problems delivering them in a simple and effective manner. Peace to the saints. Indeed, that master communicator course can be a help to us all. And somebody dropped the link for the master communicator course. He further writes on Venmo, it appears that Jacob now has a battery in his back now that his buddy is here. Y'all notice how he all of a sudden started turning up when he had some butt buddies around? He felt lit all of a sudden. He grabbing the mic from his mans. That's amazing. I want to show you guys a video clip, actually. I want you guys to see what a beta male looks like and when your own friends view you as a beta male. Let me give you guys a study in communications and if people actually respect you. Listen to what happens while he starts talking. He's in his own office because he said he put the studio in his own office that he owns. Those people on that podcast are his employees. Watch how they treat him. And if your woman ever does this to you, if your friends do this to you, they cut you off while you're talking, it shows you that they don't respect you. They think you're a broad. Watch this. Women are perplexed as to how a guy can still love you and sleep with other women. We're built like that. You're not built like that. You are built to be monogamous.
A lot of men shows are trying to manipulate the mind of men and women like this, saying that men are not meant to be monogamous, right? Now, we know for thousands of years, men have had multiple wives, concubines, all that stuff. This has always been. But if we want to get real about it, because I don't like to manipulate the mind, right? In a sense where I'm going to say, okay.
But it goes
but let me finish.
Let me finish. So you're telling me your own female assistant that works for you is interrupting you and talking over you? Man, I wish a broad would. You heard me? So a broad interrupts him. Now let's carry on. Let's see how weak he is and how little position he has in his own office with his own employees interrupting him.
So then you guys can jump in. So biblically, even biblically, we are actually not meant to be with multiple people. It is. Hold on. Let me finish.
Hold on. Let me finish. There he goes again, getting interrupted again by his own employees. They're not even on camera and they're interrupting him. And it's ironic because he just cut off the broad and said, don't interrupt me. Let me finish. Then another dude starts interrupting him. It's a clear indication you're a beta male. Men don't respect you. Women don't respect you. They cut you off when you're speaking. You're a peon. And they know you're a peon subconsciously, but they don't tell you. That's why you haven't gotten mad and fired him yet. But you're going to get mad at him today after watching this. You peon. I wish people would be my employees. I'm talking into a camera. I already told one person not to interrupt me. She should have already known that. Then you interrupt me after that. It's a clear show you're the beta male in the room. You're the weakling in the room. Even though you got the money, you still don't have the power. You're weak, Brody. And that's why these beta males always try to arrange the world so they can survive. That's all they're trying to do. The beta males are trying to survive. Why? Because the big boss dog, the reason they hate polygyny, they don't want me to have 3 of them girls because they're going to end up with 0. Too many of us got 3 or 4, they end up with 0. That's how the beta males operate. But wise women don't want to be with a weak man because this boy over here talking crazy, I change his whole life. In real life, I change his whole life. Imagine he brought up the fade. I ain't bring up a fade because it's ludicrous. Y'all both look like fat old men. It's ludicrous. I'll be bullying you. I ain't bring up a fade. He brought up a fade. I said, come through the Saint City. You heard me? He didn't want to come through. It's the fight capital of the world. And there's also great tourism. You heard me? I'll beat you up, give you a 2-piece. Then you could go to a fine restaurant and get a 2-piece. It's a great place. But he didn't want to come. Talking about come to the Inland Empire. Brody, why would I go to a backwater? There's no logic there. Come on, man. Just say you're scared. Say you're scared. Anyways, back to him getting cut off by his own employees in his own office.
Let me finish.
Let me finish.
Dude, hold on. It says one man, one woman.
Hold on.
One man, one
Then you hear another person in the background cutting him off. That's crazy.
woman. That's what it's supposed to be. One man, one woman. It's in the Bible. It's talked about like that. And I believe that. I truly do, because I feel like you know you're doing wrong if you're being with multiple women. Period. Like I'm not a fool. Like I know what I was doing.
Bro is cute. He got a grenade tattooed on his hand. That's so cute. That's amazing.
What I'm doing is wrong. I'm not gonna sit there and convince myself.
Bro is a fat rascal sitting in a video game chair, just filling it up like a walrus.
Like I'm some fool trying to convince myself that, hey, what I'm doing is.
Oh, and by the way, Brody is a fan. Like, in case you guys didn't know, like, shout out to my fans. You heard me? Bro is an actual fan. Before we went live, he's like, yeah, man, I've been watching your stuff for like 2 years. You're great. You're great, man. And if you look at his YouTube website, I'm your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. All of them. What do? They bootleg what I say. Health, wealth, relationships. Health, wealth, relationships. I'm a fan. I've been watching you for 2 years. Then you look at his explanation. What is he saying? Everything I say. Leadership, right? Health, wealth, relationships, all in different words. Come on, bro. We see it a million miles away, man. Stop trying to steal from your boy. Be original.
Not wrong. I'm going to keep doing it. No, I'm going to at least acknowledge that what I'm doing is wrong. But I'm just going to keep doing it. But I'm not going to, I feel like that's very scary to try to manipulate your own mind to believe that that it's okay to be with all these women.
When women are nobody even wants to listen, bro. That's crazy. Like, he got cut off 30 times by his own employees. And he's over here trying to argue, like, virtually while I'm absent, argue with me. I'm God to him. You hear me? He following my footsteps. You dig? He done bootlegged all the ism and put it on his YouTube page. Like, yeah, man, I teach leadership. You don't teach leadership. You follow leadership. Quit lying, you fat rascal. Who wants to learn from an overweight man? Come on, Brody. Stop it, please. 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 Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Anyways, shout out to Carter. He writes, it appears that Jacob now has a battery in his back now that his buddy's here. It's almost like a whole new persona. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? And that's one of the things that you could tell how if somebody's really like that. Y'all have never witnessed any time on the history of human existence where somebody tried to turn up on me and I didn't turn up 1,000 degrees. I'm not going to play with you. You heard me? Like, all of a sudden his man's is there. Now I want to turn up. Nah, I'm going to turn up regardless. Ruthless. Anyways, he writes, this couple with his rhetoric on being monogamous, good boy, and his soft, flabby body paint, the picture of his character is really a beta male. Agree. Carter came back again. He writes, greed and gluttony are sins, gentlemen. 30 minutes of sweat daily. I'm trying to teach him. Shout out to Carter. He came back again on Venmo. He writes, Jacob, we see right through you. You are not like that, talking about jujitsu or boxing. Like, yeah, really? Like, that's cute. Like, you're talking so unrealistic. Imagine, right? Kidnap for 5K. He's talking, bro. It's like we're talking to like internet nerds. Like, they don't do anything in the real world. They never been through anything. Like, I wrote an entire book of my life. That's how you know my life is real. I wrote a book on it, and that's not my whole life. That's just 0 to 25. Shout out to Saint White with a baller alert. He writes, Jacob, if being faithful to one woman is the right thing, why aren't you living by that belief? Exactly. How can you be true to your faith if you're not following what you know is right? It seems like you're resisting the nature God designed for you. Talk about it. Teach. Shout out to Proverbs lady. Writes, I'm truly disappointed. Male perversion is the real problem, end quote. Said by the man contradicting himself, arguing nonsense. All the best to all three of you gentlemen. She has no photo. Shout out to Nicaragua. He writes, these two went from Christians to gangsters. Wow, bro. Indeed they did. Shout out to Leonard, supporting guy. I appreciate it. Man, I also acknowledge Tyree. Shout out to Nicaragua. Writes, this dude has man boobs, trying to be tough. That's what killed me when I was like, Rico, are you fat? And bro, like clearly has a little bit of like, what's that jiggling? What's that jiggling? Bro clearly got a booty on his chest talking about, no, I'm not overweight. Like, bro, you are in womanly denial. That's crazy. You're a delusional grown man on TV where everyone can see you. Stop it. None of the above writes, I call it weak. Shout out to Michael. He writes, why was there 20 fat dudes in their studio, bro? And the thing that get me mad, you got all these nerds in the background. They eating corn nuts. You hear me? They eating corn nuts and cheese puffs in the background, like just talking crazy. He's bald head. His head look like a milk dud. Matter of fact, I'm hungry. Y'all got some milk duds? You got 3 fat guys in the background. I'm like, yo, put them on camera. They would have talked reckless. Put them on camera. They don't want to come on camera. They scared. It's amazing. Shout out to Robert. He writes, goofballs. Indeed. Shout out to Eric. He writes, neither of these gentlemen read the Bible clearly. Bro, over here talking about just pray for understanding. Okay, buddy. They're like, okay, you've clearly not learned from history. They are not qualified to represent or even talk about the good word. They're not even self-aware enough to realize they're getting cooked. Peace to the saints, bro. It was wild. Shout out to Michael. He writes, Jacob, you have 2 kids. Don't get froggy. Think about your family. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, really, think about your family. You heard me? Shout out to Carter. He writes, this savage fella is trying to act hard, but looks like the kid in high school who gets his book slapped on the floor. Bro, I'm telling you, man, it is just strange to me. He looked like this one YouTuber who's funny as hell, a little light-skinned dude, be doing like comical YouTube clips. But like, bro, like we could look at y'all, we could tell how you talk. Like you never been on this level ever in life. Like I'm scary to people like you. I'm actually terrifying to people like you. Like, Lord knows if we're in a room and it was you two and just me as one man, bro, y'all be quiet as a church mouse. And if you wasn't, I'd probably end up poking one of y'all up. He's a clown to me, bro. We're not the same. You're so soft. You're so soft. Just let me see if I could just play back when I asked, bro, is like, are you a savage? And hear his response. Cause that was just crazy to me. I got to play that back. And then let's play back real quick the part when they started getting tough. Let's just play that back real quick. Hold on. Let me see when bro came on camera. Like he didn't send recruitments. And here's a funny thing I also want you guys to notice. And this is a fact. Before we started the live call, I said, okay, is it just one-on-one? It's just me versus you. Because I went in, thought it was going to be a 5-on-1. To be honest with you, I thought he was going to bring all the little nerds. I thought it was going to be me versus all them little nerds. I was like, is it just me versus you? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. One-on-one. Easy work. And then all of a sudden he started getting cooked and his mans had to come out of nowhere and act like he went in the background the whole time. That's what I don't respect. It's like, bro, you was in the background listening the whole time. Stop coming out here acting like you just showed up. Like you's a cold liar, man. You's an actual liar. Please stop it. We don't believe you. All right, so check this out. Let's hear when I confronted, but like, are you a savage? Let's hear what he has to say. You're definitely not a savage. Just ask him straight, like, are you a savage? Because I'm looking at bro like, you definitely don't look like a savage. I've seen savages. You don't look like one. Put a 1 in the chat just to confirm that the audio is good. And let's hear how he introduces his boyfriend come out of nowhere.
My co-host just showed up. He's right here.
He just showed up randomly. Okay. So on a video that's guaranteed to be your highest viewed video, your co-host just showed up out of nowhere. Please stop it, you liar. Okay. Cool. Yeah, absolutely. It'll be, and you see how cool I am. Like, bro, you basically set up the one-on-one and then you bringing in new recruits. And I'm just like, all right, cool. Yeah, bring him through. Obviously, as we have a split screen, it'll be a little bit harder to see him unless you're perfectly centered. But you know, we got enough grease to throw in another small fry. You dig? We cooking. No,
we'll see.
I'm a big fish.
Peace and saints. How are you?
You do what it do over here.
You?
I'm well. And your name?
Rico.
Oh yeah, I saw you on the image, Rico Savage.
Yes, sir.
Your government name is Savage. And notice how you start playing games like abroad. I asked him straight up, your government name is Savage, right? I actually know a white chick with a huge nose named Sadler. Her last name is Savage. Huge nose. Yeah, she's very thin though. But anyways, huge nose. But her actual name is Savage. So I just want to, maybe his government name is Savage because he definitely doesn't seem like the kind of guy who is a savage. So why would you call yourself a savage when you're not a savage? So this must be his government. Let's check on it. And then he acts dumb like he didn't hear me. Check this out. All of a sudden he can't hear. He's been hearing everything. Go Savage.
Yes, sir.
Your government name is Savage?
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Your government name is Savage? Like my government name, for example, is Marquett Burton. I'm saying your government name is Savage?
No.
No. So why do you call yourself Savage? Ask him straight. Why do you call yourself Savage?
Is this? I had a clothing line. The last name was Savage. So
he said I had a clothing line, and then he said last name was Savage. Do clothing lines have a last name? That was weird. Bro is nervous and confused.
You know what I mean? It kind of stuck, and then people.
He said it kind of stuck. See, if your clothing line wasn't successful, as indicated by the fact that it doesn't exist, he said I had, meaning past tense. So if your clothing line doesn't exist, that means it was never that popular. So how did it stick? If your clothing line ain't even stick to the market, how did the name Savage, which was not your name, it was your clothing line's name, how did that stick to you? No, actually what happened is that you made that up and you start calling yourself that. That's the difference, you see? And I hate nerds like this. Like, bro, you're not like me. You're not like me at all. Like, my whole life has been this. I ain't never changed. When I was graduating middle school in the 8th grade and I walked across the stage, the teacher who did not like me, it's my science teacher, he was announcing everybody coming on stage. He said, "In the legend, Marquett Burton, the legend." Respect it. You heard me? Yeah, I've been like that my whole life. Like, no, I don't call myself the legend. No, he called me the legend. You're calling yourself Savage. Please stop it, Brody. You're a nut.
Friends and stuff. They say it. So
okay,
kind of carried along.
That was crazy. So you don't see how he lied. He started stuttering. Listen to this.
And was Savage. So you know what I mean. It kind of stuck, and then people, friends and stuff. They say it. So
they carried along. They say it. Okay. So you don't consider yourself a savage, but you call yourself a savage. So you don't consider yourself a savage, yet you call yourself a savage. I'm just trying to figure out what's real.
I mean, you can be a savage in all type of ways, bad ways, good ways.
That was crazy. You can be a savage in all type of ways. This is the kind of guy like, yeah, you could be a gangster in all kind of ways. I'm a spiritual gangster for Jesus Christ. I'm a spiritual gangster for Jesus Christ. Okay, Brody. Great. That's very good. I'm a spiritual gangster for Jesus Christ. Amazing. You could be a savage in all ways. Okay.
So yes, I do.
Yo, shout out to
I don't know why you're shaking your head. I mean, it's like almost saying like
I didn't even notice that before. Hey, shout out to Obed is like shaking his head like, bro, did you just redefine savage? This is what liberals do. Liberals redefine words. You heard me? Bro then just made up a whole different definition for savage.
You're savage in all type of ways, bad ways, good ways.
Look at Obed like, no, sir.
In certain situations.
Correct, sir.
I mean, I don't know why you're shaking your head. I mean, it's like almost.
And see, I thought he was talking to me. You heard me? Because he said you. And so I addressed that. And then he's like, no.
Saying like, you don't consider yourself a survivor. So, you know what I mean?
No, I'm shaking my head up and down, which means
I was talking about the other guy.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Because you said you, and I was the last person talking.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, that's not my last name, no.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So we got Rico Savage here, co-host with Jacob. And so he'll be in the discussion as well. So we did introduce you, just acknowledge that you're here. I think there was like a conversation that was going on, so I don't want to derail it. Right. So I'll yield back to Obed so he can carry on. Bro is a super sweet. Like, that's the sweetest savage I've ever seen in my life. You guys ever seen such a sweet savage? That's amazing. And here's the thing that kills me. And you guys could ask about me. You dig? Like, if you're really in IE, I just smashed me a couple little things out there. Like, people know the big homie in IE, especially if you want to talk about San Bernardino, Rialto, Fontana. Yeah, they know the big homie out there. Yeah, I'm like that. People actually know me out there. Find out, man. Find out before you start running your mouth. And if you get out of the sticks, out of San Bernardino, Rialto, Fontana, you get around some real people, you know what I'm saying? Mention my name again. They'll do it for the free. They don't need that 5,000 and that extra 5,000 if it's family there. They don't need that. He's a nerd, boy. It's amazing. You can be all kinds of savage. Okay, Brody. Now let's see when he started crying. Let's go to that part when they said I was disrespectful. I want to find that part. And here's the thing. I'm not going to lie to you. The reason I asked, was I disrespectful? Did I say something disrespectful? Because I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't respect somebody, even if I'm trying to be cool, it might drip out. It might drip out. You know, it might seep out that I don't respect you, or, you know, I'm trying to be, professional and I just happen to not respect you. Might seep out. That's why I asked. But I could have sworn I was being polite. I've been like this my whole life. You're not even qualified to, man, it's crazy, Brody. So I keep saying, where does it say that in your book? Let me see where you got it. Wait, here we go.
Respect.
Can't get multiple wives. Here we go. Why not just have fun with multiple women? All right, now this is the part where Brody got his feelings hurt. My feelings. My feelings. This is where he got his feelings hurt. Check this out. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. We're already done here. Why not just have fun? Amazing. Shout out to Michael. He writes, just two overweight males. Oh, God. Just two. Now, mind you, so far, nobody's turned up, right? So far, I haven't turned up. They haven't turned up. There's been no cursing, no insults. And this is when they get their feelings hurt, just like broads. Like, oh, you said I'm fat? Sleep on the couch. Like, this is what happened right here. Check this out. No one's cursed. No one's been disrespectful. Let me know if I'm disrespectful. And I'm open to that being the case. That's why I asked him, I was like, was I disrespectful? I just thought I was being real. So let's see. Let's take a listen at it. Because if he had explained to me like, hey, you said this, and this is disrespectful, and I was like, you know what? I did say that. That's a fact. And that is disrespectful. That's also a fact. And you know what? You didn't disrespect me. I apologize. I'll apologize. I'm not above apologizing if I'm wrong. If I was foul unnecessarily, I'll apologize. But the thing is, like, I don't sneak this. I'm not going to sneak this nobody. Like, y'all are clowns. I disrespect you to your face in front of your mom and your parents. What are you talking about? Kidding me. Let's sneak this you, bro. You nothing. You's an ant. Overweight males trying to justify why they can't get multiple wives, but trying to repurpose it.
I'm pretty sure.
Hey, I guarantee he smashed more than you do.
Okay, now you'll notice I hadn't even finished reading the super chat and already they're responding. So that means they've been stirred emotionally like broads. You dig? So they're already at a heightened emotional level. So they're sensitive. I couldn't even empathize with this because I've never been overweight, but they're sensitive right now. And this is when it starts going left for them. Hey, I think it's funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's funny as hell. Let me just
Ain't nobody overweight over here.
Let me just finish reading it. And that's what messed me up. He said, ain't, quote, this is a quote, ain't nobody overweight here. Now, this is the problem. These are your leadership. These are your Christians. These are your real men. These are your alpha males. And A, you're fat. And B, you're lying about it. Come on, man. You got to stop people from having a podcast. Here we go. But knowing nothing about the Bible, amazing. He writes, misspelled on purpose. Listen, you guys said nobody's overweight over there.
Still got more bitches.
Rico, keep it real with your boy, my nigga. Now, see, look, I'm being respectful. I just said, keep it real with your boy, man. Keep it a bean. Keep it a bean. You fat. Keep it a bean. Like, that's not disrespect. And here's the crazy thing is like, bro, you looking at me with this fat face. Like, your face is fat, man. How you telling me you ain't fat? Bro, we can see you. That's strange. That nobody's overweight over there.
Still got more bitches.
Rico, keep it real with your boy, my nil. Rico, you not overweight? And this is not to disrespect you, Rico. This is just real shit. And see, right there, I told Brody, I was like, look, I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just like, now let's stay on planet Earth real quick. Like, you're fat. Let's stay on planet Earth. That's all I said. Let's stay on planet Earth real quick. Are you fat? And then bro started getting big mad with them big old cute cheeks. Them cute cheeks, man. Then his little fat buddy start leaning in too. And this is the thing about beta males. As I say, birds of a feather flock together. Look, you got one fat rascal and another fat rascal all next to each other with their fat, squishy arms on each other, man. Come on. You're both fat. And now you're mad. Because if you look at our faces, like people are going to carry weight in their face, either A, based on their genetics, or B, based on overall fat content, right? Or percentage of body fat, right? Rico, you don't think you're overweight?
No.
That was crazy. Why did he have to start looking away like a broad? No, but notice how he didn't look straight. Look, based on their genetics, or B, based on overall fat content, right? Or percentage of body fat, right? Rico, you don't think you're overweight?
No.
Come on, bro. That was crazy. Somebody got to find a full body image of him and send that to my video editor. This must be clipped. That was insane. Word. Now, see, right here, this is when I'm like, okay, now I can't respect you because I'm talking to liars. Now we're talking to liars here. And here's the thing. You're telling us that our eyes deceive us. There are times when people can confuse you or lie about things. Like, for example, if I told you guys that, hey, I'm in like a gorgeous place in Bali in a really nice villa, and there's a pool right behind me, and there's rice farming going on, and there's gorgeous nature. And I could say that, and it could be not true. I could lie because you just can't see that, right? I don't be lying about stuff like that. But anyways, In his case, it's like, bruh, we're looking at you. We're looking dead at you. You can't say you're not fat. We see you. It's like, bro, like, don't tell us our eyes deceive us. If this is not the greatest form of evil. Christian, stop it. I thought the good book says don't be gluttonous. All right, bro. Oh yeah, check out the chat too. Just real quick, since we here, check out the chat, bro. It's like he thought he was fooling people. Right. So then he rolled his eyes. Exactly what I was thinking. Like, that's like super broad type behavior. Indeed. And then it writes, the boy knew he was lying. Rolling his eyes is crazy work, right? Like a fruitcake. They're eating dominoes at every moment. Boy lying about this. We can see. It's just his thyroid. He ain't overweight. Exactly. Making up lies in real time. Thank you. That's crazy.
I mean,
if we want to get into stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we want to get into real shit.
No, the thing is, you're trying to like.
See, now here's the funny thing is he had claimed at this point people were being disrespected and I was cursing at them. No, I'm not cursing at you. You guys are just lying. I don't respect it. And at the end of the day, you're basically in a situation whereby because your man's has been pointed out as a fatty, you know that you're next on the chopping block to be identified as a fatty, a fat Christian, which really doesn't make sense. So you want to step up in advance before your feelings get hurt, before you get exposed for being an undisciplined, overweight man. Because he gave himself a lot of credit, didn't he? Gave himself a lot of credit, but did not ever mention that he's seriously overweight. And look right here, somebody put tubby wubby, and somebody else put triggered. Another person puts fats unite. Exactly. And that's all it is. That's all it is.
Like disrespect.
No.
How
listen,
you not?
Jacob, you said you've watched me before. You said you've watched me before. And here's something we all know about. Listen, here's something we all know about Marquett Burton. If I want to disrespect somebody, I disrespect somebody straight up to their face. I'm really like that. And you in Inland Empire, you're not too far from Los Angeles. You're around people who know me. Listen, no, you're around people who know me in real life. And this is what I want you guys to all understand. No one talks like I talk out of nowhere. Listen to the way I'm talking. Listen to how I'm getting at people. You don't become like that in old age. You don't become like that in your 30s. And when you talk to somebody and say, you're an IE, you're only a hop, skip, and a jump from people who really know me and love me. You don't say stuff like that for fun. Now, goofy stuff like, yeah, I get you kidnapped for $5,000. You's a sucker, boy. I get that done for free off of the strength. You're a nerd. You're an actual nerd. Bro, y'all better be safe and shut your mouth. You better be safe and shut your mouth. Look at my face. I'm serious as a heartbeat. This is the face you make when somebody who is not of your caliber. That's the face you make when someone who's not on your level is acting like they like that. I'm not even like that. I'm a businessman. But don't act like I won't knock your block off. You heard me? If I want to disrespect anybody, I disrespect them straight up. I don't have to beat around no fucking bush. You heard me? And if it's an issue, it ain't got to be no boxing. It go all the way up. So I don't need to listen. No, hold on one second. Don't interrupt while I'm talking. If I want to disrespect you, I will be so vicious and disrespectful, you won't have to guess about it. I just asked him the facts, and I'll tell you why. Because the super chat said he's overweight, and he said he's not overweight. I agree with the super chat, so I asked him to see if he's a real one. Because when you're overweight, God damn it, you're gluttonous, and you need to be real with yourself and fix it. I talk about 30 minutes of sweat every day. I truly believe in fitness. He's overweight. That's why I asked him that. Okay? Now listen to me. If I want to disrespect, hold on. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna stop. I will let you talk. But I want you guys both to know if I wanted to disrespect either of you individually or deliver. And here's the thing. Check out all the YouTubers. They all got something to say about so-and-so, and so-and-so's their enemy. The one time you saw me encounter one of my enemies, who mind you is bigger than me, what did I do? I did exactly what I say I was going to do. I pulled up on him. What's up with that fade? Yeah, what's up with that fade? Oh, no, it was just content. It's just content. So don't tell me I'm not like that.
Why
You're
are you
sweet.
mad?
And this is the funny thing too. You got people in the background coaching the nigga. They coaching this little bub. They're like, why is he getting mad? Why is he getting mad? Bro, shut up. You're not even on camera. You're not even man enough to come on camera, bro. Shut up. Quit acting like a broad. Sit down, be silent, pretend you're not there. That's crazy. Anyways, ladies and saints, as you can see, Brody got super punked. He got mad because I said he was fat. Actually, I didn't say he was fat. I asked him if he was fat. And then he denied it. Then I was like, no, you're for sure fat. You are for sure fat. You're fat. Big mad. Straight crazy. Shout out to Jesus. He writes, peace of the saints. Let's not forget the part where he said, just because it's in the Bible doesn't mean you have to believe it. That was insane. I had to repeat it just to give him a chance to back down off of it. He writes, they really blew up once you ask them what the Bible tells you to wear, right? Because they realize they don't know the word at all. They don't know the word at any level. Guys, why Rico Sausage lying about his weight? Dude's face is 40% fat and his 40% forehead and 20% everything else. A face is supposed to, bro, I'm telling you, man. Shout out to Black Boy Engineer. Support the work. Appreciate you. Shout out to the real ones. Man, this is crazy. Like they know damn well they don't want no smoke, man. This is just a waste of my time. This is a waste of my energy. They know damn well they don't want no smoke with the big homie. Shout out to, oh, and by the way, when I say I'm the big homie, that's not like, oh, I used to have a clothing line. The clothing line was called Big Homie, and then you know, my friends, my mom, they call me big. No, it's not like that, Brody. I'm the big homie. You dig? This is crazy. I'm the big homie, man. Don't find out the hard way. Shout out to Carter. Right? Maybe he calls himself savage because of the busted women he deals with, and that is savage. You heard me, for real. And we've all been a savage every now and then. On his profile, it writes, proud husband and father. This is his personal profile that he didn't share. Proud husband and father, startup investor, stop it. Fundraising advisor, stop it. This boy got multiple identities out here. Amazing. Cute little fella. He has some cute kids though, like for real. Says bros, oh, he trying to act tough. It says he's from Irvine. You from Irvine, my boy? I thought you said you was from the IE. Oh, you lying. That's cute. Irvine, isn't that like Cowtown? I've never been to Irvine. I think it's like Cowtown. I never had a reason to go out there because there's nothing really out there except a really nice university. That's crazy. Listen, bro. That's amazing. We're so different. Anyways, shout out to Biega. Writes, how is an MMA fighter overweight? I don't know. He ain't fighting enough. Man, bro be fighting for seconds. You heard me? He be fighting for seconds. Be fighting over that last cookie. You know what I'm saying? That's about all that man is fighting. That man be in the bathtub, pull the plug and fight against the water. That's the only exercise that man ever has. Fat face dude. Really think he is shape. That's cute. That is cute. I will sting, bro. Break. And these two nerds both wearing glasses. I will sting both of them and break their glasses on their face. They walk around with a patch like Captain Hook or Slick Rick the Ruler. They better quit playing with me if I see one of them with these cute tattoos. Man, oh man. They got all these demonic tattoos claiming to be Christians. Extraordinary. Imagine being fat and thinking you're not fat. Appreciate you, Mitch. Imagine being a fat male and thinking you're not fat. Why, that sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Isn't that how women are? They be fat, broke, unattractive, ratchet, promiscuous, but they all think that they're the prize. You hear me? It's extraordinary. He writes, only MMA he knows is muffins, McDonald's, all you can eat buffets. Listen, man, it is wild. And see, it get like that. People be fat. It get like that. But the worst thing about it is like, come on, man, don't be in denial like that. That's the part that messed me up. Don't be in denial. You know damn well you fat. Don't sit here lying to people when they could see you. Bro he thought he was Hollow Man. What's going on? Extraordinary. And here's the thing. I roasted the first dude so bad they had to bring on the second dude, but I didn't even get to go through my notes. That's how easy he got bodied. And you guys should be at home asking yourself, like, how is it that Marquett is not you never heard Marquett come on like, I'm a Christian, Jesus Christ, Savior. You never hear me say that. You always hear me say I'm all of the religions rolled into one. So you're a Christian. That's all you need to master. How do I come on with more scripture than you? And then he over here talking about, I didn't know we had to debate about the Bible. Dummy, you literally said polygyny is wrong based on the Bible. These people have such low IQ and low integrity. It's really strange. It's so bizarre that they think that they should be the leaders of men. So bizarre. Bro need to be banned from podcasting. I never seen anybody look so dumb within an hour of their life. That first hour, that ball looked extraordinarily dumb. They do. You's a nerd, Brody. I was trying to be nice to you because you're my inferior. You like a little knucklehead. You're a little knucklehead. I use you as a foil against which we can spread ism and make content. But you's a knucklehead to me, man. Like, let's be real. No one believed any of your threats. I walked through the IE with my meat out. I walked through your church, your business, and your mama house with my meat out. Won't nobody touch me. You ain't got people who would touch me, and you wouldn't touch me. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Stop playing games. Bro over here steaming mad. Two little fat rascals. They probably had to end the stream because they Uber Eats arrived. They Uber Eats and they're in the stream and the food is here. We got to eat it while it's hot. These fat animals. Come on, bro. We are not the same, man. You better get home to your wife. Now you better go to your daughter's cheerleading practice. Focus on that. Really, focus on that. You got a cute kid, man. Take care of them. Little nerds. Anyways, ladies and saints, it's been a pleasure. It's been a real pleasure. I thank you all who have supported the work, and let us end this with our tradition, the creed of the assassin. Repeat after me with full conviction, knowing this is true of you. The creed of the assassin. I am going to be who I truly am because I am remarkable, and I'm going to strive every moment to show the greatest part of who I am. Until next time, peace of the saints.